this one for 3. AJ Hawk, $5,000.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, play. Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful.
McAfee all line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pay. Damn it!
Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people. And welcome to beautiful, absolutely glorious Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the home of tomorrow night's draft. And our show is live right now. Football! Magical football is celebrating its next generation of greatness tomorrow night in this beautiful city. And I was very fortunate and lucky to grow up in these hills of Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you, the weather that has been forecasted not only since yesterday, where we had a full Kennywood day, we will certainly talk about that in a matter of moments. Today, tomorrow, Friday, into the weekend is superb. The vibes are immaculate. And what's about to happen tomorrow night is Roger Goodell is going to list off names that will potentially be launching themselves into a Hall of Fame-like conversation or career. Obviously, NFL careers are very difficult. There's going to be a lot of guys who are ass that are drafted tomorrow night in the NFL. Then there's going to be a couple guys that are going to surprise some people. And then there's going to be a story that's going to come from tomorrow night from this parking lot right here, the Gold Lot outside of Acrisure Stadium. If you're a Yinzer, you understand that obviously this parking lot is home to a lot of festivities. Before Steelers games, before Pirates games, after Pirates games, after Steelers games. I had a friend that was pronounced dead in this parking lot after chugging a bottle of vodka. Then he was taken to a hospital promptly here in Pittsburgh and was resuscitated. I watched a guy ask a lady, very intoxicated, if she was pregnant when she was actually just a fatso. Right here. Right here in this parking lot right back here. I've seen a guy with a fishing net, okay, that he was taking into PNC Park, catch a natty light from 75 yards away.
Okay.
Nice.
Boom. Problem. Goes right through net. Explodes off ground.
Ooh.
Hits car. Okay. I've seen this happen. The Gold Lot is home to great times. The Gold Lot is home to a lot of chaos. And tomorrow night, the Gold Lot is home to dreams coming true. I do believe because the weather is so awesome that the city is going to show up. There had been a lot of talk about Yinzers maybe saying, it's too much work. We're supposed to get that done. Fucking 2 lanes in, 2 lanes out, 700,000 people. Yeah, right. Can't get down there for a Pirates game. There's 13,000 people in PNC Park. Why would we ever go? A lot of negativity early from a lot of the old head Yinzers. Also a lot of positivity. Obviously, a lot of people want to celebrate ball. They want to celebrate the city of Pittsburgh. But it felt like it was getting a little bit loud because of the inconvenience that it's going to be to get down here. With this weather being the way it's been, with the way it's being covered, the people that are showing up. We got a Wiz and Brett Michaels concert coming on Friday night. Tomorrow night, we got everything popped. It's going to be a special weekend here in Pittsburgh. We're very thankful to be here. It's not just me. Obviously, the boys are here as well. The Toxic Table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. You guys got a chance to experience a little Pittsburgh heaven yesterday, and I don't know which one of you wants to start. Connor, you're the bigger hater, so I think you could maybe mention what happened yesterday. But in Pittsburgh, every school, like we had 5 elementary schools, I think, when I was, right? Is that how many we had?
Pacific.
That's one half of the Hammer. Cowboys.
Yeah.
AP 10. We had 5 elementary schools. I think there's 2 junior highs and a high school. Each school has like a Kennywood picnic day where everybody goes to Kennywood. They charge you for it. Okay.
Yeah.
So you certainly had to pay for it. There was a couple times where maybe early
Get your tickets.
the McAfees decided not to pay. It's literally ghost town. Okay. Everybody in Plum picks up and goes to Kennywood, and every town has one of those. Yesterday, the program had our own Kennywood picnic day. And I want to let the people at Kennywood know, Lindsay, Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Okay, Ricky,
Dog.
Ricky, the GM in there. Kenny the Kangaroo, brand new, by the way, doesn't look like a puppet that has been maybe, used.
That's true.
Right.
Okay, Kennywood swinging a hot bat.
Gino and the maintenance crew.
Gino and the maintenance crew. I can't thank you boys enough. Tony, the Paulitanas. I mean, the entire crew took care of us yesterday. We had Kennywood to ourselves. Not normally open during the weekdays at this stage of the spring because you don't know what the weather is. So opening it all up would be crazy, even though the weather is awesome. Got a chance to experience Kennywood yesterday. You've said a lot of things, Con Man.
Yeah.
I would just like to kind of get your thoughts on what Kennywood was and Pittsburgh being a host site for this draft with perfect weather, seemingly.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's been amazing. Walked around a little bit yesterday in the city after Kennywood, and it is just beautiful. It's clean. It looks fantastic. Saw Mr. Rogers' little neighborhood thing. Also very cool. Kennywood as a whole, I mean, look, I did say a lot of things. I thought the whoop-de-woos were not going to be whoop-de-woos. I thought the roller coasters themselves were going to be crap and shite and made out of wood. They were made out of wood, but it was still solid. I'm just going to say that now. Six Flags I've always held in high regard. I'm going to put Kennywood right up there with it. I mean, not to mention the Racer and the Phantom's Revenge, the Phantom.
Sure.
They had some coasters that delivered. Phantom were going, 95, 200 miles an hour, something around there. The Steel Curtain, I think, had 9 or 8 or 10 whoop-de-woos, which was very, very good. I was scared going up there for a little bit, and typically I don't love roller coasters, don't hate roller coasters. Yeah, in this moment, I was very nervous. You're going up this, I don't know, 150, 200 foot kind of climb.
They said 229 feet. Is
229, yeah.
Yep.
And they're playing, "Oh Mama, I'm in fear for the life for my life," and I was. Like there was a lot of this that I wasn't completely ready. Actually, unfortunately,
what do you do?
Yeah, D-Butt.
On the ride itself, I think D-Butt, my anxiety might have got to D-Butt a bit. I actually passed out here on the Steel Curtain. I was not ready for it. My entire body just kind of gave out. My hair was going everywhere. This is actually our second run. The first run, I damn near lost my glasses, so I took them off for run 2. I'm glad I did, because as soon as I go out, I would have completely lost my shades. I wouldn't be able to see anything. Boom.
Oh my
I'm
God!
out.
You actually went out
I'm
right
out.
there.
See you guys later.
Wake him up, DJ.
Nope, still out.
My God.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing it. Oh my God. Are you all right?
I'm okay. Yeah, people trying to make me up there. Still out.
Oh my God.
Still out.
This is my first time seeing it.
Yeah. And we came back. Still out. So boom.
Oh
Yeah, back alive. So, look, to say Kennywood.
Hey, I'm happy you're all right.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're okay.
To say that it delivered would be an understatement. It did. There's a few things we should address, though. One, I think it motivated a lot of us to make sure we fit in the coasters.
You don't have to do that.
Going
All
forward.
right.
And myself
Nine-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here. D-Butt was right next to Connor there as Connor left, I guess, civilization for a little bit as he was on the steel curtain. 9 whoop-de-woos, which is the most in North America. Highest whoop-de-woo in North America as well, the steel curtain. And I believe Phantom's Revenge is voted the #1 coaster in America or something like that. It gets up to, like, they say 85, 86 miles an hour, but the maintenance guys say they got that dialed in pretty good right now. We'd say that's probably
Close to 90.
close to 90. No pull. That's all gravity. The Steel Phantom's Revenge is just gravity, and it gets you to like 90 miles an hour is what they were saying. It doesn't have any whoop-de-woos, but it's just speed and twisty-woos.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, they brought their I talked a lot of shit for Kennywood on this show.
Yeah, sure. Did.
And then night before Kennywood Day for us, which came together late, shout out to Nick. Steve Littleman, by the way, kid from Plum, worked at Kennywood our entire lives, was the connection for this entire thing. Everybody that worked, same workers, okay, and they loved that place. Night before we have our Kennywood picnic day, because D-Butt was like, hey, I'm telling the truth when we get on air about this Kennywood.
Yep.
I'm doing journalism. I actually thought to myself, like, maybe Kennywood, last of its kind. This particular coaster is called a fly coaster. It's the last one operating in the United States of America. There's like 3 different coasters that are over 100 years old there. I mean, they all still work. But I was very worried that it was going to suck. Okay, I was like, man, I haven't been there in 20 years. I mean, who knows what this thing actually is? Maybe Mandela effect about how nice it was, especially because I was a kid, the amount of things that happened in there. We walked by the old mill. So many moments in my life happened at Kennywood. It was a big day. So I started getting a little bit worried that maybe it was going to get crucified. Nope. Now, granted, it was just us there.
That helps.
For sure. It does help.
Much better.
But it delivered.
Much better. I had some Yinzers respond to my picture of the old mill. And they go, let me guess, you're getting a VIP treatment at Kennywood? Yeah, very relatable. It's like, I would like to let you know, not relatable at all. We hit all of these things in 2.5 hours. Even stopped by the Potato Patch.
Well,
we had the greatest.
Hold on.
It's called the Potato Patch.
They
need to take that fucking sign down.
It's called the patch.
No, it is not. The patch is a nicotine thing.
There was signage for both.
Yeah, but they covered the Potato Patch. Ricky made a mistake.
He's going to fix it.
And he is going to rectify it.
He knows that he's gonna fix that. But I would say I was worried going in, and then once I felt that Jackrabbit, I was like, yeah, feels like the boys are throwing their fastball today, because the maintenance crew matters. And I think what I remembered is 100-year-old coasters, wooden coasters. So if you zoom in on the wood, there's a chance it looks shitty.
Sure.
Well, moldy.
It's old wood.
Yeah, very old.
Pittsburgh is a blue-collar, union labor city. The amount of pride that the maintenance people have in the Thunderbolt, in the Jackrabbit, in the fucking Kangaroo,
The racer.
in the Phantom's Revenge, in the Steel Curtain. It was like, we got a chance to talk to all the maintenance people because they had to open the rides for us.
Yeah, sure.
Thought they were going to hit our guts. We weren't the first people to ever have this happen to. We were told that, which was good because I did feel terrible that these guys had to come in on their off day and open these things. But the amount of pride they all had in all their rides. And then once we get on there, I'm like, Kennywood does have its fastball. I was very excited about that. I was worried you were going to have to kill it because I didn't remember exactly what it was.
The expectations were very, very low coming in. You guys, you Pittsburgh guys have defended it. I'm from Florida, so that's where Disney World is. That's where I got to compare it to. And they say comparison is the thief of joy, but comparing these things apples to apples, I mean, it's right here. It's right. And we had the Phantom's Revenge, Steel Curtain. Now, you guys did. It's some pros and cons to having a part to yourself because I don't know if the human body is built to just go from Phantom's Revenge twice, Steel Curtain, Jackrabbit, back to back to back to back. But it was unbelievable. And then to top it off, finish it off with the what is it? The patch now, right? That's what we're calling it.
The patch.
Okay, the patch. That was phenomenal.
It's the Potato
Patch. Fries, pulled pork. They had the Lowry's over there for me. Magic. Yeah, it was top notch. A1. A1.
Pittsburgh's been delivering, we will say, and they'll do it for the draft. Now let's go to a man who's a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. AJ Hawk is here. Hawker, good to see you. Hawker, your discipline is the reason why you've been so good at everything. Connor was about to mention it there. The bone couldn't fit on 2 of the coasters.
Yep. Oh, so I did hear about that. Is that really true, or are we just doing a thing where
True.
we mess with Dahn?
It was not
Did he
good.
get in and say, hey,
Look.
let me try to get this thing over my lap? Oh, I cannot do it. It's like a
On
movie.
the steel curtain, there
it's
was
like a scene from a
6
movie.
workers trying to shove him in the seat.
Oh,
Look, I
come
was-
on now.
I was trying to get out of his way.
You know that's true.
This is actual. We're telling the truth.
Really?
I didn't want to get into this
Does it
this
say,
early.
is there weight limits
Look,
or is there size
this is
limits when
me
you're
next
walking
to-
up the ramp?
That's me next to him up front in the first.
What if he rode by himself? Could he just take a cart to
Nah,
himself?
because there's
No,
little parts.
There's dividers.
And we were trying to put more weight. This was the racer right here.
Yeah.
So it was the blue ride versus the red ride. So
Oh,
we're
yeah.
trying to get,
Kings Island has
Yeah,
a racer,
yeah,
too.
so,
the one I used to
Bowen
go
said
to.
he was motivated, though. He said this actually genuinely now gives me
Is
a
this
goal.
the kickstart he needed?
2 roller coasters.
What did he do? Did he stand there and wave at you guys as you went by?
It was very uncomfortable. It was more uncomfortable than anything.
He had his hands in his face because he was crying after he couldn't ride.
I didn't know it was that serious.
Serious.
it started off funny. And then towards the end,
Got
kinda
sad.
got
Got real sad.
Did no one thought of? Did
Hey,
anyone say, "Hey,
Dahn,
all right, I'll
Dahn.
stay with you"?
It's okay. Well, they have a sign at the beginning that says like, "Oh, Gumpy wasn't riding a lot of these rides because he took 2 drinks.
He's a one and only.
It wasn't enough." Bailey on the ride that has the most whoop-de-woos in the United States of America.
Yeah.
As it's going, looks over at Evan Fox and goes, "I fucking hate roller coasters." So then he goes through it. He gets up and gets off of it. I mean, there was a lot of observers.
Yeah.
And D-Bone, I don't think he wanted to be one, but the coasters kind of said not today to him. And I'll tell you what, you saw what happened to Connor.
Oh yeah.
If that would happen to Bone, we're having a memorial right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would have been falling out of that thing. There was
Pink
nowhere
mist.
close to getting
I'm
that
glad
thing.
he stayed off.
All right, let's move off Kennywood. Thank you, Kennywood.
Thank you, Kennywood.
Bring Italian Day back,
Yeah,
Kennywood.
the fact that Italian Day has been lost at Kennywood is pretty crazy. Spacuzzi was walking us around. Napolitano's one of the head maintenance guys. DeJulio was there. Maroldo was there.
What'd I say?
Gino was there. I mean,
What'd I say?
what?
Every day at Kennywood's Italian Day. We don't need our own day there. Okay.
There's a guy 3 times the size of Bone, and his name was Tony something that ends in I or O, and the guy couldn't fit on the rise. He said, "That's it. We're pulling Italian Day. we ain't doing Italian Day at Kennywood anymore if I can't fit in that."
All
thing."
right, let's move to the draft, shall we? Thank you, Pittsburgh. The Pens, thank you so much for the hospitality at the playoff game on Monday night.
I don't know if they'll be back in that building.
Yeah, that's probably all she wrote there.
I'll tell you what, did we know the Flyers were as big, strong, and as talented as they? They're bigger, faster, stronger, and more talented than us.
That's never good.
There's a guy named 74 on
Guy named
on the Flyers.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Hey, he's Russian.
Skinner?
Owen Tippett. Stu is our goalie.
Tippett. Okay, yeah.
Tippett, this
Still?
guy, 74. He's as orange as the fucking jersey.
Man.
He's everywhere. This guy is everywhere, and he's massive. Okay. Then what was that other guy? Sanheim.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Number 6.
you're lucky that glass was there, Sanheim.
I bet.
You're lucky that glass was there, Sanheim. I almost climbed it, but I didn't want the LA Kings thing to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With my neck brace. I was actually told just moments before, or I guess a day before the LA Kings glass shattered into the bench, I was told many times, stop banging on a glass. Because it was hard not to just
Yeah, it's right
Had
there.
make some noise. It's the best way to make noise.
I mean, players can touch it.
Yeah, I think the Flyers did see this tweet and they have heard what we said. There was a lot of waving after the game to me. Hey, see a bum? They cooked us.
They're a good team. You got backup goalie, too. How many
What?
times is a backup goalie going to come in and pitch a shutout?
Guy was standing on his head.
On his head.
I'm seeing what goals are going in for the Boston Bruins last night against Buffalo. We couldn't buy one of those things.
That's what happens when you're an original 6 team. Okay, the hockey gods look fondly upon you.
All right, let's get away from this series because the Flyers are going to win it, feels like. So I don't want to talk about it ever again. Hockey had a hell of a year.
Good job, hockey.
Basketball's heating up.
Hockey had a hell of a
Was it
year.
1-0?
First
Series
round.
1-0 right now?
2-0. Yeah, and we're going back to Philly. And I'm going to tell you, I had eyes on the guys.
Yeah.
They're bigger, stronger, faster, and more talented than us.
It's tough to compete with
It's a
that.
long series.
Sid plays better.
Not really. It could be quick.
It's a long series. I still got faith in Sid.
I love Sid. Gino was everywhere.
Yeah.
Gino, I love Gino. Tanger was out there. We got a couple guys on the ice that I don't love. A couple guys that I can hear, this guy stinks. But on the other side, the Flyers, everybody was good.
So they're winning it all then? Flyers going to win the cup?
Probably feels like
No.
I think there's a chance. They got talking over there as Penguin legend. There's a chance that they could do that. It was fun. We appreciate it. Great to see everybody. Let's move to the topic of discussion and why we were so fortunate to be here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, on maybe the nicest weather I've ever seen in Pittsburgh, especially in April. Joining us now is the man who released his most recent mock draft. Some guy attacked me for saying that you're the most accurate mock drafter. He has a website.
I forget his name. I don't know if anybody's visited the website, but he told me it was documented. He might have outperformed you, he said. Okay. I don't know if anybody saw it.
Mitt?
He did. It wasn't Mitt. It was somebody with a website. I got better score than him or whatever, because there is now a scoring process for these mock drafts.
Hilarious.
There is an actual score, accountability that we're doing. Schrager, every time we followed along with you, we feel most informed. We appreciate you so much for joining us. It's Peter Schrager.
Come on now.
Schrager and Tone Diggs will be live from the Football IQ, Draft IQ trailer that I just saw. It's 45 degrees in there right now. The air conditioning is working, boys. Now, Schrags, you released your most recent mock draft. Let's talk about the storylines. I know a lot of things had to change after your first one. What did you kind of put into this one that you think is maybe most set, most real, and then maybe what are you still questioning?
The last 72 hours I've been on the phones with just about every NFL team and have someone in at least every building, and I'm trying to piece this thing together. And remember, it's very hard to do it because if one team does something in the third overall pick that you don't expect, it all trickle-down effect. It makes it very difficult to be accurate. I will say this draft, 3 things to keep in mind. 1, positional value does not matter this year. There are not the blue chip players at our traditional positions of offensive tackle, wide receiver, quarterback, and at defensive end that there usually are. So when you look at a Caleb Downs, a Sonny Styles, a Jeremiah Love, 3 positions that you don't typically see go in the top 10, those guys will go in the top 10. That's one part that I would say that is worth noting. The other part that I think is really significant here, Pat, is that at number 3, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting there. And there are teams that have been calling, and there are teams that have been listening, and there is an opportunity to move up to 3. And if they don't trade out, we might see a running back go as high as 3rd overall. Jeremiah Love, the running back at Notre Dame, could go 3rd overall to the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, so you're saying there might be some moves at 3. That would be for a quarterback, or you're saying positional value doesn't matter? If somebody can get to 3 for something.
That would be for whoever the Jets don't take.
Okay, so let's talk about like Arvell Reese potentially instead of David Bailey.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that did Jimmy Johnson create the trade points book?
The trade value book, yes.
Does this year's mean the same as other years in the past with the way everybody's talking about these particular
Great question. No, because also the other piece of this draft is 1 to 20. We have 20 first-round picks in this draft, and I'm not knocking the kids who are going to go from 21 to 32, but traditionally, the players that you're seeing on this list from 21 to 32 for the most part might not be considered first-round players. They could be considered second-round players. This draft is a little different in that you've got your few blue-chip players up top, you've got your next tier that are first-round guys, but it kind of falls off a cliff after 20. So the trade value of a first-round pick at 28 or 29 is a lot less than it might have been in previous years in this year's draft. The tackles are going to go, the wide receivers are going to go, but there's not your group of corners, there's not your group of defensive tackles, and there's not your group of quarterbacks that there typically are.
Okay, last question from me before Tone will definitely have some and the boys will. From my understanding, from my source around the league, everybody's trying to get back. Is that accurate?
Not everybody. Not everybody.
But there's a lot of people trying to move back, right?
I think there is a lot of value in trying to just collect as many picks as possible in this draft once that first wave of talent goes. When I tell you, one corner, Mansour Delane, is expected to go in the first round. That's the only one that's guaranteed to go. Debo, I tell you, one corner.
That's shocking.
There's other guys who can go.
The over-under is
4.5. But like this is the only surefire one that is going to go, and it's Mansour Delane, and that is usually a position where we see 6, 7, 8 maybe go. And then after the wide receivers, you've got the big 3, and then there's a bit of a question on Cooper, there's a bit of a question on Concepcion, a bit of a question on Denzel Boston. You don't have your typical, these are 6 first-round guys, they're definitely going in the top 15. Makes it a very interesting draft.
Okay, Shags, when I look at it, the first thing that popped out to me, Maui Noah from Miami has been the favorite to go first offensive lineman off the board for a while now. You do not have him go the first off the board. You have Fano going. Is that because the Browns need a left tackle? Fano has played left tackle, or are you hearing that Fano is going to be the first offensive lineman off the board?
It'll be one of those 2 guys, and I would keep an eye on Caden Proctor as a late rising prospect, the 6'7" mountain of a man out of Alabama. I have him, the Lions trading up to 13 to get him. Maui Noah Fano is a conversation everyone's having in the league right now. Fano, we're a captain C on his chest at Utah, can play right, can play left tackle, can also play inside. We know that Maui Noah had the bigger games. He is a right tackle.
I just saw the Fanos. Like he did have the shortest arms, I believe, as an offensive lineman at the combine. But he said he doesn't give a shit. Like put him wherever you guys think I'm going to be the greatest. I will play that position.
Took snaps at center at the combine. Said I'll do whatever. Just get me there. Can play all 5 positions. Culture guy, and everyone raves about him.
I'm thinking he doesn't have an Instagram. Is that clear?
That's a great question.
That's a good question.
I wouldn't imagine there's a very vibrant Instagram. I don't think he's doing TikTok dances.
I mean, if he started at all 5 positions or played at all 5 positions and willing to play at all 5 positions, and he said, I'll play whatever. And he's got short arms, too, so maybe he can't even.
True.
That's the type of guy we want on team. That's the type of guy we want on team. Debo has a question for you,
Speaking of guys on the team in that mock draft with the Giants, I mean, I'm sure every Giants fan probably hit you up in relation with Reese and then Tyson, 5 and 10. What are you hearing about Tyson post-pro day? Because I only saw a few clips, but he looks phenomenal the way he's moving. And as far as his health, I think Dr. Chow came on and said a lot of teams won't even have a red mark next to him. What's your thoughts on Jordan Tyson being? You have him obviously second after Tate, wide receivers coming off the board. What's your thoughts? What you're hearing on him?
He's the most fascinating prospect in this draft. And John Harbaugh is the most fascinating person in this draft. The Giants have a new coach who is making estimated $100 million in their building right now, and their decision-making process will now be really funneled through Harbaugh's vision. The 5 and the 10. They like Jordan Tyson. A lot of people in the league like Jordan Tyson. Is 5 too rich to take a receiver who, Pat, we've talked about it, missed all those games for 3 different injuries, but is lights out, and if healthy, is viewed as the number 1 prospect. I believe he could go as early as 5 to the Giants. I think he can go 7 to the Commanders, 8 to the Saints, or 9 to the Chiefs. In this mock draft, I have the Giants just sitting pretty, holding the line, and getting the guy at 10. I noted it. I broke the news that he went to dinner with Joe Shane last Thursday night. They went to a place called Uchi in Arizona. I don't know. I've not been.
It's a good spot.
It's supposed to be delicious sushi.
I've learned of a lot of places in Arizona.
Yeah?
Uchi is the spot. I've been to a Twin Peaks in Arizona. It was lovely. I've been to several places in Arizona. But
it was lovely.
Uchi.
Who let you there?
That's it.
Hey,
a Canadian
ice cold beer here, pal. Are they still serving ice cold beer?
Or they got ice cold in there?
Uncanny imitation. That said, there's a lot of love for Tyson in that Giants building. I'm not sure he is going to go at 5, especially if Arvell Reese is on the board.
Let's talk about Harbaugh having 2 top 10 picks. So Hembo sent over some stats here about his highest drafted players under John Harbaugh. 6, Ronnie Stanley, 14, 16, 17, 18. Obviously, whenever you think about Harbaugh trying to build a new culture, isn't that a big deal here now with his draft picks and what he does with 5 and 10? Isn't it sending a massive message? His brother drafted Joe Alt, first draft pick. Remember, there was a lot of conversation on who he's going to take, and he said, we're taking an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
We are just going to let everybody know that we're taking an offensive lineman. Harbaugh going to do that with the Giants as well? I don't see wide receiver at 5 for Harbaugh.
That seems out of character, right? It does. And then yet you look at what this team is built at. You have Neighbors coming off the injury. You don't have Wan'Dale Robinson anymore. Darius Slayton's the number 2. Are you going to compete with the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders with what you have on offense, or do you go and get the guy if he's the number 1 wide receiver at a value position? I would add all those players that Harbaugh got, with the exception of Flacco, who was the 18th overall pick and went to Delaware. We're talking Alabama, Notre Dame. You're talking about big program guys who've produced. So all these Ohio State guys, whether it be Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, Carnell Tate,
that feels like a Harbaugh.
There is a body of work that they have done in big spots from big programs, where when you're looking at a Jordan Tyson and saying, okay, well, Arizona State, he did play well in big games, maybe that's not the feel at 5 overall.
Yeah, and for Jordan Tyson, Dr. David Chow kind of talked me out of the hole. I'm never trusting that guy in a 17-game season. Him saying his hamstrings back, hamstrings get healthy. The shoulder, or what was it?
He said he plays,
collarbone. He plays football. Like, that's going to happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the NFL again or whatever, for the way he lands. And then knee ligament stuff.
His knee hit, like the highlight hit the internet again this week of his hit in Colorado. When he did, we all would have torn everything on. It was a submarine safety right to his knee. Just it was tough there.
It's not dirty. It's football. It's a low tackle, Straight.
Okay.
Hey, but it's 32 teams, so it may be 22 that say, hey, no issues, but 10 that say, no way, I'm taking them, because
100%
getting injured in college, the likelihood of you getting injured in college would have been healthy on the NFL level. So some guys, you just take them off the board.
The other one that's interesting is Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee, who you're going to hear a lot about. He had the best film out of anybody in the 2024 season. January of 25, had a knee injury, missed the entire college football season. Everyone said, he'll be back, he'll be fine. Combine, okay, I'm not doing much, fine. Pro day, runs a 40, looks good. Drills, they said, not 100%. And you're hearing back from teams that, like, whereas Tyson is well on his way, like McCoy still might need some time and they might need to do some more work. So you start, so I got him all the way down to 30. This is a guy who might be the best corner in this draft. And if you look at the 24 film, might be the best corner in the past 2 drafts. But that might be a value pick for the Dolphins over there at 30 if teams are just scared to say, okay, he might not be a contributor right away, or we're only going to get this many years out of him. Outstanding kid, outstanding talent, but I have him going 30 in the second corner off the board.
Remember, all it takes is one person to like a player.
Yep.
Owner, GM, owner's wife, owner's kid, owner's husband. I mean, Carly's husband might be really intrigued, but draft night can change.
100%.
Owners can literally say, we like this guy, right?
No doubt.
No, we kind of like the other. No,
we do.
I think we like this guy, especially in this where it seems like it's a lot of one of these. So
like 31 flavors is what I was told this draft is, like Baskin Robbins. Like you like this guy, you got this guy. Pick one of them. Like they're both Reese and Bailey for the Jets is a fascinating debate. And to their credit, the Jets are lock and key right now. There's no leaks coming from their building. And
what about the Jets canceling his top 30? Do you get any feeling they canceled David Bailey's top 30 visit? Is that a good thing for them, Bailey going to the Jets, or a
I
bad
have
thing?
him going number 2. I've had him going there for a month. And Pat, we talked about it. Everyone was on Reese. I was on Bailey. And then everyone went back on Reese. I've stayed on Bailey. Very unorthodox that they canceled a top 30 visit.
Hey, that's Jets football, baby.
Yes, it is.
The explanation you will get on that is, we met with him extensively at the Combine. We met with him extensively at the Pro Day. We've done FaceTimes with him. Why are we wasting his time? We know the kid. He went from Stanford to Texas Tech, is as clean as a prospect off the field as you can imagine. He's a wonderful young man, had 14 and a half sacks. What are we getting from him touring our facility? That said, Orville Reese went on the thing and did the same stuff and toured the facility. So you take what you want from it. I've got him going Bailey, but like you just said, I have been wrong before, and things can also change from now until the draft on Thursday night.
Did you, AJ, did you have anything like that happen to you leading up to the draft? Because you kind of in the same shoes. These guys, the top 5 pick with the Packers. Packers were kind of in on you.
I did not. I met with them at the Combine and everything, but I took those. I think I took 5 or 6 visits around, and the Packers didn't bring me in. They didn't cancel a visit. I didn't have something scheduled and canceled. They just had no communication. So I really had no clue until they called me 30 seconds before my name came on the TV.
That's crazy.
Where did you think you were going to go?
I was hoping to go to Green Bay because it was close. It's the Packers. Everyone, I feel like, at least in the Midwest, grew up a Packers fan. I was hoping to go there, but I was so young and naive and stupid, I didn't care.
Did anybody take into the old mill, though, a little bit more than everybody else? I'm talking about Kennywood. Anybody really show you love? Maybe a little over the pants?
Mike,
you thought?
Over the pants, maybe. But Mike Nolan was actually out in San Francisco. He was the head coach. Yeah. He was awesome. He was a great dude. I think I said on this on the show before, he old school wrote me a handwritten note and sent me $10 back because he didn't have any cash when he was trying to tip the guy at the restaurant he took me to in San Fran. So he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you got any money?" I got a 10. I gave him a 10, and then to my scrubby little college house, I got old school mail, and it was from Coach Mike Nolan with a $10 bill and saying thank you. I was like, "Hey, if he wants to, this is a great guy. If he wants to take me, I'll be very happy."
I'd love to play for that guy.
Yeah,
that's amazing. AJ, top 5 pick is crazy to think about. Draft week was obviously huge for you, and I always ask you the corny sports media question, but how does it feel to be this close to people getting to experience your life that you got to experience all those years ago? Draft week is special. It's a lot of dream. I mean, I was picked 222. I cried. Obviously I couldn't imagine at 5. And nowadays all the kids are rich though, so I guess it kind of takes away from. I don't know. I still think it's a huge deal.
It's still huge. It's definitely still a huge deal. But I mean, I don't know. I think there's something about being young and naive to the process and not really sure what the whole future holds. But what I always struggle with is when people say "Oh, I'm certified. I've made it now, mama." No, this is just the start. I agree. It's an emotional situation and it's a dream come true. But I was like, okay, now I have a chance. Now it's time to go to work. If you're drafted, you have not arrived. You got a chance to go live your dream now.
And that's who they're trying to draft, by the way.
Yes.
That is all. We're trying to draft that guy.
Yeah. Every team. Can I share a story about Pat McAfee's draft day? Yes. I don't know if I've shared on the show, and I think I told you in person once. Tom Telesco is a friend of mine. He was with the Chargers and the Raiders. He worked for the Indianapolis Colts, and he was a scout. Now, Pat, tell me the actual bowl game it was. You guys played North Carolina.
Meineke Car Care Bowl.
It was the Meineke Car Care Bowl, and Tom Telesco, who was a scout for the Indianapolis Colts, said before the game there was a guy booting 60-yard field goals, blasting punts, and he said, "Who is this guy?" That is the number one punter/kicker I've ever seen in like a pregame workout. You were there for an hour beforehand, and Telesco was like, "This guy is amazing. We have to get this guy." Goes back to the Colts organization, and they're putting the boards together, and he's like, "That's my pick. McAfee out of West Virginia. That's my pick." They also thought they had a chance that they could also get this guy who was a receiver out of Akron, who was or Kent State, I'm sorry, a nice player who can do a couple things and was returning kicks, but was really a quarterback. And he was a quarterback that they had their eyes on. Their plan all along was to draft both Pat McAfee and Julian Edelman.
Oh, that would have been great.
It comes up onto the clock, and it was a debate in the war room. Do we take the punter kicker or the quarterback that we want to convert to wide receiver?
Hilarious.
The punter kicker won the argument.
Wow,
Pat
so that's a
McAfee
mistake.
is selected by the Indianapolis Colts, and Edelman goes undrafted, and then he signs with the Patriots as an undrafted free agent.
So even more so, I was supposed to go to Kent State.
Is that right?
Yeah. So I was committed to Kent State. So I would have been teammates with Julian at that thing. Yeah,
Y'all were ended up being both one helmet guys though.
Yeah, the whole time.
Wire to wire, and both media superstars.
Yeah, yep. I'd say that's the case. Euphoria is kind of the feeling that we both got, ain't that right, AJ?
That is, you're right.
Julian Edelman. I got a chance to see. I am a huge fan of Julian Edelman. And Peyton to Julian Edelman would have been outrageous.
Oh, man.
That would have been. I don't know if Tom Telesco, he should have got off the table when he was
He
fighting.
had Austin Collie, young Austin Collie.
Right, picked him in the fourth, I think, third round out of
BYU.
Why was he your comparison?
He played in the slot.
Okay.
Got it.
There it is.
No, he
Edelman
didn't.
was my
Nothing
teammate.
else. No other reason.
No, he didn't.
No other reason.
Austin was
He
was
in
a
the slot.
good. He
No,
take the top off. Austin takes the top off.
Austin was going deep.
4th and 2 game. I was led up across Austin until they moved Reggie in there to brought me up.
Who was the Ohio State guy? Gonzalez? He was
Anthony,
Gonzo,
politician
now, right?
He had a hell of a team. Man, Anthony, Julian Edelman, Austin Coley, and Reggie Wayne.
Wow.
That would have been.
Well, you had Garcon.
And Dallas
And
Clark.
Pierre.
And Pierre. Oh, my God. We would have scored. They would have scored. I would have been on a different team. Hopefully. Actually, I probably would have been flipping burgers.
Had you heard that story before?
No, I did not. They traded with the Eagles, I do believe, to get up to pick 222 to make the pick. So I had no idea. I had no contact with the Eagles. So when I got a call, I was watching it in my house because I thought I was going to the Cowboys. I was told before draft by Joe DiCamillo, special teams coordinator, say, hey, you're going to be a Cowboy. You're going to be kicking for us down here. I was like, sick. I'm going to be a fucking Dallas Cowboy. We partied hard. I mean, we had a great weekend. We had a lot of fun. Then when it came Sunday to get drafted or whatever, we're like, all right, let's settle in. They draft another guy, kid out of USC.
Oh, the lifter.
Yeah, because he did. Yeah, Jerry loved him, I guess, because he did 225 like 20 sometimes, 28 times or something. So Joe DiCamillo actually told me, like, hey, man, I'm so sorry that happened. And I'm like, well, no other team really.
There's your example with the owner, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No,
Special teams coach only has so much, so much of a voice.
No other team was really that interested, though. So it was like.
Stood on the table for you.
I don't know if I'm going. I think this might be back to school days. And then, I get the call from Bill Polian. That was so cool. Hey, we think you can figure out punting, is what he said. I'm like, yeah, man, absolutely.
Of course.
Can't wait to do that. Had to go to Plum High School's football field the next day with Tim McAfee and like, hey, we got to figure out.
Is that
You
right?
ever hold before?
We got to learn how to punt. Yeah, absolutely. I hold all the time. I kicked 4 years there. I never held in my life. But yeah, I lied my ass off. Very lucky to get in there. They wish they would have taken Julian Edelman, and I think that would have been a smart decision long term, and it would have been nice to be teammates with Jules. But on that note, luckiest phone call I ever got. And I tried to fuck it up there too, getting arrested. I tried my best. I was nowhere near good enough at kicking balls when I got arrested to get arrested. And I knew that sitting in that jail cell. This one's over, boys. One of those moments. Because, once Tom Telesco looked into West Virginia, I had a couple of underages. Yeah, there was a couple of red flags, we'll say. Hey, it was a Tuesday, it looks like. Why? Teammate's birthday. I had to be there for the teammate. Okay, this next one. Wednesday night.
Penny pitchers.
Yeah, well. Hey, ever been to Morgantown? I don't know. But my entire process was very nerve-wracking and very scary. That's why, whenever people get drafted in the first round, I'm super pumped for them. But I feel like AJ's draft experience is vastly different than mine. I thought I was going back to school, maybe going back to soccer for a little bit.
Really?
So getting drafted was like a huge anxiety relief, I would say. But to AJ's point, I didn't make the team then. I'm not on the team at that point. They had 4 punters on the team.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And the special teams coordinator told me directly to my face that he did not want me. He wanted the other guy, which was Timothy Masthay.
Yeah, Tim Mesta.
He's still playing the league. Packers,
Yeah, he was in training camp with us, though. I had to compete with him. He was a part of helping teach me how to punt like a month before training camp. And then he's in there and we're competing with each other. And it's like, I'm so sorry, Tim. I'm so sorry. And I was not good. I should not have made the team, but Bill Polian had my back, and I'm very grateful for that. Very thankful for that. But the draft is a special time. And Schrags, we're very thankful that you're joining us.
Dude, I can't wait. I predicted 4 trades in my mock draft. I've got Detroit coming up. I got the Cowboys coming up. It's all fun. Enjoy it. Do what you want with it. Again,
just don't tip picks.
It's a guide. I do ask you though at home. Choose your entertainment value wisely. Put the Twitter away. Watch us on all the channels. Watch the Draft Spectacular. We're gonna have an absolute blast tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. I do like you taking your high horse stance that you have.
Can I explain the high horse?
Hold on though.
It's more against reporters than.
No, I want to let you know though. You've done this for the last few years. Okay, to us, you've actually told me like, I don't like when people tip picks. And I go, well, we definitely tip picks, because that was kind of where the Draft Spectacular started. We were all wearing, I was in a Canadian tuxedo. Aaron joined us.
Yeah.
And we were on the internet. So any information that the internet had, we were certainly, but we were like 7 picks ahead of the NFL. And we started gaining some steam with this Draft Spectacular. People actually like started watching our shit. So people started getting real mad. You know, these people down here still don't love us. Those people over there, the guy that sits on that stage up there. So then we started getting like messages like, hey, please don't be tipping picks. And then you gave me a full speech about it.
Let me explain.
And you're like, hey, this is not impressive.
There's no value. You're not winning. Okay, let me explain. You're not winning a Pulitzer prize for tipping picks. If you have a pick on Thursday morning and you're like, I know the Jets are taking David Bailey, or I know God bless you as a reporter, go. The NFL gets the picks before you see them on TV. You have to submit them. All 32 teams get the pick. Every coach, every GM, so if you have one source in any building, at the league office, an agent, everyone gets it 90 seconds before the pick is announced. All it takes is to just be told, oh, they're taking this guy, and you're just spoiling it. So if you have the pick a day earlier, or you're a reporter and you want to break it, great. But after the pick is submitted, and the pick is submitted and in, there's no valor, there's no awesome honor.
Sorry, Strakes, but shouldn't you be talking to these coaches and people that are snitching? Letting these reporters know.
So Goodell should be.
They're trying to crack down. It's hard. There's 32
There's
rooms.
too many
people. 1,000 people.
Think about all the people in all those rooms. We see the draft.
Listen, Mike Greenberg will know. Rich Eisen will know. Everyone knows. It goes through. It's a production. So I'm not trying to say. Like, hey, protecting their shield. I don't give a crap about the ratings. I'm saying there's no and then the reaction when you just see it on TV and Goodell says the name and you didn't expect it to be happening. That surprise is cool. That's one of the.
Did you see did you see Mad Mel last year? Whenever Golden.
How good was that?
Yeah.
That still exists.
We'll have that. And to be completely clear, I do think Commissioner Goodell loves the draft.
Oh yeah.
Like he is very, very, very big fan of the draft. Future of the NFL. Future generations. This is the baton passing of the NFL almost, and it's become a spectacle. I think he's very proud of what it's become, and I do think they like him being the one.
Oh yeah,
we've gotten that message loud and clear. Okay, now we don't get the same emails that Rich Eisen and Greeny get.
I don't know. No, it's not emails. It's not emails. The production of it all, like right before the pick is up, they have to know because they have to have the B-roll ready and all the stuff, and they have to get it going, and they do.
So
Fox.
Your actual reaction, though, finding out who it is great, though.
Yeah, I enjoy learning.
It's better that you don't know.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is Amanda's going to be picking at the end of the NFL draft tomorrow. Maybe he trades up to 2.
He could.
Maybe he trades up to 1.
I don't know if they have the capital to do that, but maybe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the general manager of the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane. Beano, how you doing, pal?
I'm good. Good to see you guys. Everybody good?
Yeah, we're fantastic. How are you? Obviously, on this draft eve, you have a late pick. But on that note, are we already locked in at this point? Where do teams kind of sit whenever we're the day before the NFL draft? Are you reading Schrager's mock and going, that changes? Like, legitimately, how do you guys operate this close to when the draft starts?
Yeah, after we see Peter's mock, we kind of rally back up as a group and see like where he ranks, how we rank him. And so we have a conversation. We don't necessarily take Peter's guy, but we at least want to talk about it before we dismiss it.
Well, congratulations. You're taking Peter Woods out of Clemson.
There you go. Let's go.
All right. We'll go ahead and get him on an airplane, get him up to Buffalo.
Okay, so what have you guys been doing? Obviously, that late in the draft, so many things can happen. And obviously, trades take place on draft night and surprise picks happen. Are you just running through all the different situations? Can you take me through late end of first round and kind of strategy at this point?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just use what you know, use what you hear. Obviously, you study mocks, not like the actual order, but you know out of enough mocks that Fernando Mendoza is going to be gone, Reese is going to be gone, you name them. You kind of just write down, all right, I'm just making up a number. These 12 guys are 100%, barring, like I said, a gas mask or something. I don't even know if anybody care about that. But barring something like that happening, these guys are going to be gone before we pick. So after that, you're just then kind of looking at names, you're looking at positions, position value, and then you look around you. Like, what do you think the teams, 3, 4, 5 in front of you, what are they going to do? Do you want to move up with one of them? Where we have draft capital, we don't have a 2. We traded, we did a 2-5 swap for DJ Moore. So it's not like we're loaded with a lot of ammo to kind of jump way up the line.
You should think about it, though. That'd be cool for us.
Yeah, you might as well.
Yeah.
Just use your 27 picks. Everyone said that draft's going to stink.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should. Maybe the whole fleet of 2027 picks to move right up to 2 to 3 so we can get a little electricity, to start this entire thing. D-Bud has a question for you, Beane.
Yeah, Beane, I want to ask you about players with injuries. Now, not specific players in this draft, but how do you balance, I guess, the talent of certain players at certain positions and then the injuries? Like if it's the same injury year after year, if it's just random injuries over 3 years, how do you balance that as a front office?
Yeah, great question. We do meet with our docs and our medical team, and you have their talent where they're out on the board, but if it's a longevity issue, you're going, all right, is this a one contract guy? Do I think he can even? Is this something I'm concerned the guy can even play 4 to 5 years on? And then you kind of make it. Am I taking him all the way off the board, or am I moving him down, saying, hey, you know what? I had a first round grade on him as his talent. But I'm very concerned if he can make it, 4 or 5 years. But maybe I say, you know what, a 4th round pick, he may not make it 4 or 5 years either. So you're just kind of measuring risk, the risk of the talent of the player versus the risk of what the medical concerns are. You look at past history as well. What players have come out in the draft at this position with something similar? How did they fare? Or, did it go well? Did it not? So you're trying to put as much info as you can and put them in the spot that you're most comfortable taking them.
Tyson is obviously who we're referring to here because he's potential top.
McCoy. it happens every
corner,
year.
I guess. Yeah, also there, McCoy. But Jordan Tyson is the big combo because he's potentially top 10 pick. Now, on that note, I haven't asked you this, because I don't want you to be put in a spot, but I'm definitely going to do it now that people are watching and we're the day before the draft. How do you feel about this draft class? What do you think is the read on this draft class here as a whole? You don't have to talk about just first round. You can do the entire. What do you think about? Because there's been a lot of shade thrown at this draft class, I think, strictly because there isn't a bunch of quarterbacks. What are your thoughts on this particular draft class?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not as top heavy. You were alluding to it, like at the top, whether it's quarterback, edge, tackles, things like that. I don't think there's just as many surefire, top 10, top 15 guys, but they're still really good players. There's depth at various positions, and you're just trying to see, as you look, what positions have depth, what do not. Because if they don't have depth and you feel like that's a need, you're like, man, we better find a way to get that guy early, or we're going to leave the draft, without filling that position. But I think there's guys, Pat, that we can, maybe they're not a starter, for us, but a guy that can fill a depth role. I think there's still plenty of players that will help, all 32 teams, throughout the draft.
I like to hear that. There's been a lot of negativity about this draft class. Con Man, New England Patriot, diehard fan, has a question for you.
Yeah, Beane, shout out to your Buffalo Sabres. Good game last night. But back to football real quick.
Josh Allen's chugging beers. Maybe you need to look at Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
I don't know if that guy's fully committed.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Great beer chug, though.
Fantastic.
Hey, Josh,
fantastic.
Great beer chug. We love what you're doing for sport right there. And congrats on the kid.
Yeah, and also people were judging the drum. He nailed the drum. He just wasn't hitting it as hard. He was going for the beat, not power. That's just something you need to look at. But
hey, it's 1-1, so don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah. We'll see. One team's bigger, tougher, more physical, and is pounding the other team, but that's fine. B, when it comes to trades, in the draft itself. Schrags had 4 of them in his mock, one of them being, the Cowboys switching picks with the Chiefs. But for you, you've traded up, you've traded back. Kincaid, you went up and got him. At what point are you starting to talk to GMs? Like, do you think these guys are talking now about, like, hey, can we move up here? Are you wait until the draft starts, and if your guy starts to fall a bit, are you calling other teams? Like, what is kind of the strategy when it comes for some of these GMs trying to trade up and trade back?
Yeah, I think you kind of check with how far are you realistically, wherever you're at in the first round, how far are you willing to go up knowing, generally speaking, what that draft capital will cost you. And listen, if you're willing to go in the top 10 and you feel like you got the capital to do it, you're checking in saying, hey, what is your interest? Or you guys think you would have any interest in moving back to our spot? Is this too far? You kind of want to get a feel. You may be at, I'm just making up, you may be at 20. Well, I know this. The year we took Josh, okay, we were at 21 and 22, and I was calling, knowing, well ahead of time, hey, we were going to need to get into the top 10. I'm calling teams, and no one was interested in falling all the way back to 21. So I traded a player with Cincinnati and went from 21 to 12, and now teams were interested in moving. We ultimately went from 12 to 7. I don't think I could have got that deal on draft day going all the way from 21 to 7. So you kind of get a feel of if those teams up there, however far you want to go, are they willing to drop back as far as you are, whether it's 3 spots or whether it's 15 spots.
You guys are little deal makers out there. I like what we're doing in real time. Speaking of time, Schrags has the last question for you.
By the way, that Cordy Glenn deal, I think I broke that one. Let's ask about the change in the draft, because Pat brings up a big point here. It used to be 15 minutes, then it was 10 minutes, but now it's 8 minutes for first-round picks. Meaning you kind of got to be a little quicker and a little more nimble. What does that do to a GM, and how does that affect you when you're on the clock?
Listen, at the end of the day, it's one round that you're doing it. We speed it up to to 7 minutes in the second round. You're prepared. We've been preparing for all this. So at the end of the day, I know it's a TV production and all that. I don't see any issue with it. I think you're going to kind of know ahead. Like if you're wanting to trade up, or if I'm sitting at 26 and I think I want to trade back, like I'm lining, for the most part, those up. It doesn't mean when you get on the clock that you don't check with a couple teams before you make a move, either make a pick or take another move. You have to have your ducks in a row. You can't sit there for 5 minutes before you start that process of making a trade. But I don't see it impacting it really, Schrags.
Okay. You're gonna win a Super Bowl or not, dude? I'm sick of this.
That's the goal, buddy. That's the plan.
Too good at golf. Guy, you might have to get worse at golf.
Yeah,
that would help.
I don't know how it's going to go. You're so good at golf. So good at golf.
Not really.
Yes, he is. Foxy, will you speak for the congregation here, Foxy?
Yeah, Brandon Beane's incredible at golf. He will hit a 4-iron straight down the middle, driver straight down the middle. He will chip it on close, and he will make that putt. He is absolutely nails.
Yeah, he's been doing it since he's like a kid, just ride the bike to the golf course.
Sure.
Let me play like a 90-year-old, and then he starts smoking the ball. He's a player. These guys are real stick. And tomorrow night, we'll see if he can get 1 pick, maybe 2 picks closer to that Lombardi. We appreciate the hell out of you, Beano. Good luck tomorrow.
All right, buddy. Thanks, guys. See you.
Beano.
Let's pivot away from the draft. Let's head to the playoffs, not the NHL, because it's tough to talk about that without having to bring up that the Flyers are just fucking dismantling the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I don't like it.
Sure.
Plenty of time.
We're on the glass watching that ass get kicked the other night. And I'll say it, the Flyers bigger, stronger, faster, more talented.
Yeah.
That's normally a pretty good little recipe to win.
Yeah, stuff matters.
That's tough. Sid can't just play all 5 positions.
I
wish he could.
People aren't happy with Tanger on the internet.
No, they're not.
They need to relax. Tanger's done a lot of good. He is the least of our worries. Nah, he is one of our worries. But he is not the least of our worries. He'll get it figured out. Let's go to the NBA. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a dude who obviously we all love. 15-year NBA veteran, NBA champ, stud, Kendrick Perkins. Where are you? Where are you?
You see it? Hey, I'm in the NY, Pat. How's the neck doing, man? You know what I'm saying? I see the neck brace off. How's the neck doing? Everything good?
I got my scans back, my C2, C3, C4, and C5, all 100% somehow. It might have been just in my mind that I maybe had a broken neck, but I'm happy that the doctors here in Pittsburgh, UPMC, took care of me. And thank you for checking in on me, Perk. I was in a bad spot out there.
I saw you. You was in the club with 50. You wasn't too bad. You wasn't too bad. You was in the club with 50. You wasn't too bad.
50, Cameron, Tony Yayo, Unc Murder was in there. I mean, we were doing it. It was back. It was 2005 in there. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, it felt like I was 18 years old again.
Bangers.
Anyways, let's talk about the NBA. We only got 6 minutes. It's on us. Thank you for joining us. Feels like the NBA had a big bounce back in game 2 of all the different series. Who caught your eye this weekend? What do we need to potentially change our opinions on in your eyes?
Oh, you know what? Man, I would say I got to go towards the Lakers.
Okay. Bron's going to win another one.
Wow. No. Will not go that far. It's more so an indictment on the Houston Rockets and how horrible they are. When you think about the position that they're in, now you get back Kevin Durant, and last night was a complete embarrassment. Marcus Smart showed up. Luke Kennard is looking like the second coming of Larry Bird for some reason in the series.
Yep.
And you have Jackson Hayes, who numbers didn't pop out box score wise, is outplayed Alfred Sengun. And when I say outplayed him, Jackson Hayes he did a lot of little things that was like winning plays yesterday, and it raised a concern and put a bigger scope on the Houston Rockets and how disconnected and dysfunctional they really are.
Okay, so let's talk about your comment about LeBron at the beginning of this series. I know you're turning it on to the Houston Rockets being ass and everything like that, but at one point you said, if LeBron's able to do this at this stage of life, get this first series against the Rockets, GOAT conversation's over. We've had what seemingly is 15 guys who play in the NBA are all from Chicago. They have all come on our show, and they just biased opinions. They're like, the GOAT conversation is over. 41 years old, doing what he's doing, worthy of the respect that he's getting all across the board right now. It feels like people are finally feeling okay giving him a little bit of love for what he's doing right now.
And rightfully so. Look, Braun and I, AAU, battled in AAU, played on the same team with the Oakland Soldiers, McDonald's All-Americans together, drafted together.
Yeah.
He is still going, and I'm in the next chapter of my fucking life, okay? He is still going, and I'm in the next chapter of my fucking life and doing it at the highest level. Can you explain to me how a 41-year-old guy that's his 23rd year in the NBA is still looking like a top 5 player in the NBA? That's what he looked like last night. Now I get it. My guy Q Rich, he was on here a week ago, and I know how Q Rich stands. You could just go look at his IG page, and when he posts all his shipments of Jordans that he get in every month, and he go stand 10 toes down with MJ. My guy Shump was on here. He's from the Chi. We know he go stand 10 toes, although he won a championship with Braun, which is kind of crazy to me. But listen, what Braun is doing right now, you just have to. I sat back in my hotel room last night and I was just like, man, it's unreal. When he rejected that screen and roll and went down the lane, this play right here, and rocked the cradle, he didn't have to show off like that. But he did that for the neighborhood.
Yeah,
he did that for the neighborhood.
Yeah, the Oakland Soldiers, back there doing it. Okay, we got like 2 minutes left on this. We have to hit something other than Braun. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, I'm going to the East. We got the betting favorite Celtics. They took an L to the Sixers yesterday. VJ Edcombe stepped up. Maxey stepped up. Are you concerned with the Celtics at all coming out of the East now?
Absolutely not. Hell no. You know why? Because, listen, the Celtics shot 13 for 50 from the three-point line. They're not going to shoot that poorly again. And look, VJ Edcombe, he cut them everywhere but loose. He had the game of his life, 30 points, 10 rebounds in the Garden. That's a hard thing to do. The one thing I would not do is question the Joe Mazzulla system.
Amen.
Like, this is their offensive system. The one thing I would not question is Derek White and Jaylen Brown. They will lock in and they will be better defenders in Game 3. So Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edcombe, Paul George, they did their thing. They stole the game on the road, but I'm not concerned about the Celtics. They have the most championship experience in the East.
Huge day yesterday for the underdogs in the NBA, which has been abnormal this season. Maybe the playoffs, just like we thought, are heating up.
Yeah.
Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to you, Perk. We wish you were here in Pittsburgh maybe next time. And thank you for everything, brother.
All you got to do is send the invite, Pat.
I don't want to hear that shit, Perk. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of you talking like that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Kendrick Perkins.
Perk.
He should be here.
He's a big NFL draft guy.
Nah, just him around.
Yeah, trust me, I
good
agree.
vibes.
Now, he's a slow mover, though.
Yeah.
He does not walk fast.
No, he doesn't.
No, those old school basketball guys, those knees.
We're slow talking. We're slow moving. But the vibes, through the roof.
Immaculate.
Love Perk. Love that he's back. Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to you, Shregs, too, brother.
I loved it. Guys, cannot wait for tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, tonight's a big one.
Awesome night tonight.
Hey, you're going to have to get through some adversity to get to the building.
But it's worth it. Big time.
I'm willing to navigate.
It's right over there.
We appreciate it. It's right there. Cayman Science Center's on the other side. It's hard to get in here, though. They got everything shut down. Hosting an event there, event says people are coming. Turns out they want no people coming. We'll make it happen. It's football time. We're back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice.
We have an opportunity to give away $75,000 to a kid named Daniel Villasenor.
Absolutely.
You're a sophomore, correct?
Yeah.
What is your major?
Civil engineering.
Okay, so what's that mean? What is civil engineering?
I don't really know.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When? Were you a soccer player?
Soccer player, yeah.
Okay, how were you at kicking soccer balls? Pretty good?
I was okay. I was good.
Have you ever said anything negative about football kickers?
Maybe once or twice.
Daniel! Damn, Daniel! We don't need that! You make a field goal here from 33 yards uphill. You're the civil engineer. You'd have to tell me, I think it's about a 40-yard kick. If you're able to do that, we will give you $75,000.
All right.
He's got no laces.
Yeah, what do we got going here? Can we get a shot of shoes?
What time?
Hey, a shot of the shoes.
Daniel showed up in his Vans with no laces. What time did you get here for this?
About 11:40 last night.
You need a lot of power.
Good luck, Daniel.
I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it. Wait a second.
Just like everything this morning, that was a surprise. We did not expect that.
Let's go. We got to do one more shot.
One more kick for $100,000.
You got this, dude.
Let's go. How about this, Daniel? How about this, Daniel? Not only is this one for $100,000, if you make it, we'll add another $100,000 to the $500,000 donation we're about to make from College Game Day to the hurricane relief. It could be $600,000 if you make this, with $100,000 going into your pocket. Daniel, this is bigger than you. Let's make a kick, bro.
Way to overcome the shoes here. That was a heck of an effort. Come on, you got this.
In Berkeley, California.
You got it.
Oh! Hell yeah!
Great job.
Damn, Daniel! Damn, Daniel! All right.
What just happened?
Are you kidding me?
It's fun, man. 11:40 he was there.
I know. $600,000 to hurricane relief. $100,000 to Daniel. What a morning in Berkeley. Way to go, Daniel.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, UP! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to beautiful, perfect Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The host of the draft and our programs, Hour 2, begins now. Football is spectacular, and obviously the four men on this stage that chanted the sport that has changed all of our lives and will change the trajectory of families tomorrow night here as Roger Goodell will announce 32 new NFL superstars. Football is the greatest sport on earth, and this is a massive celebration of the city that embodies it as a whole. The Football Town, which is a NFL Films.
You all right, Shefty? You good, Shefty? He's got it.
Sitting on the wire.
Yep, don't mind me.
This guy's playing bongos on. Listen to it. I mean,
The wire's stuck on the microphone.
Carry on, Pat.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Are you good?
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, senior NFL insider for ESPN, Adam
Hey,
Shefty.
Hey, baby, Shefty.
Now, that's an entrance.
Yes,
That's
it
an
is.
entrance, man.
Shefty, will you break
Yeah.
this news? Tomorrow, 7 p.m., to start the Draft Spectacular, the 7th annual Draft Spectacular, we will be running The Football Town, which is the movie
Wow.
that NFL Films pieced together alongside Lionsgate Film, I do believe. I think Skydance was probably involved. Pittsburgh Steelers were involved. And I was the one that was chosen somehow to voice it over in honor of a lifetime. I've only seen the first 5 minutes of it.
Oh, that's it?
I'll be watching all of it tonight at the Rangos giant theater that the Cayman Science Center has. This movie was made for the Science Center, literally for the theater that we're going to. It's massive screen. So we're having a little event tonight to watch it. It will be my first time seeing it. Pretty emotional when I saw the first 5 minutes. They sent me over as a teaser. The fact that I'm a part of it was a pretty emotional day for me, actually, because there's so many people from Pittsburgh that could obviously be the voice of this particular thing. Tells the story of Pittsburgh, tells the story of our people, tells the story of everything that these hills are about. And we'll be playing it live tomorrow to kick our Thursday to. No, yeah, it is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's already Wednesday.
I know.
That'll be tomorrow to kick off the Draft Spectacular at 7 p.m. So we're very thankful for the opportunity. We'll be watching it tonight. And, I think it'll be a good little precursor for what's about to come here in Pittsburgh as the next generation of draft picks get announced. Tone Diggs is here. Ty Schmidt is here. A.J. Hawk is here. Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes, sir.
Schefter, that's who you'll be speaking to on this particular stage. Let's talk about the draft. Let's talk about some moves that are potentially being made. Right now, what are you doing with your life? We just talked to Beano. Beano's going through some mocks, trying to figure out what he could potentially have to do. Schrager just launched his last mock into the Sun this morning at ESPN.com, so he's getting a lot of follow-up there. What are you doing on this day, and what do you think we need to keep an eye out for?
You know, it was about this very time last year I got a call that the trade between the Browns and Jaguars was being discussed. It was like literally at this time. Somebody called me like, you free at about 12:30? I'm like, yeah, I'm free. And you don't forget these things. And every year there are events that happen that you're not expecting. It could be a video of a prospect that's unveiled with a gas mask.
Sure.
It could be a trade that comes down that you get wind of in the works 24 hours in advance. It could be that we're trying to figure out where a certain quarterback is going to go, and lo and behold, he goes in the 5th round with the 144th overall selection to the interest of everybody. You never know exactly what is going to turn into the story of that draft. And that is waiting to be written in this particular draft.
Oh,
we just don't know what it's going to be yet. And so, honestly, I've made some calls coming in. We'll see where it goes. We're just waiting to see which is the issue that takes off, where there won't be, say, water under the bridge, like Connor likes to say. There'll be a live issue.
You can turn your mic on, Connor. I think you do have one over there. I don't know who is in control of that particular microphone, but only so many seats. One of the boys has to get up. Connor's over in the corner, has a headset on, can chirp in at any time, I do believe, if they were to turn it on.
Shut up, Shefty.
There it is. Thank you. He passed out on Steel Curtain yesterday. Yeah. We have it on camera. He's actually dead body on a roller coaster yesterday. We're happy he's okay, actually. It's kind of a modern miracle that he's here, to be honest.
That's Kennywood, baby. baby. They deliver.
That is Kennywood football and always delivers, just like you do, Schefter. Okay, so you're saying the pen is yet to write the story of this particular draft.
Correct.
Is there any inklings on what it could be? Could be a team trading a player like A.J. Brown. I know it's not until June 1st, but is there any other potential trades that are maybe being cooked that we could foresee? Are there any players that maybe will be on the move as somebody, much like Bino just brought up, he was at 21. He had to move up to 12 to be able to move up to 7 to get Josh Allen, so he had to trade a player during the draft. A lot of people seemingly want to trade back.
Yeah.
Do we have any superstar trades potentially on the horizon on draft day, or any big-time announcements on draft day ahead?
Well, that's what we're waiting to see.
Oh, so we have no idea.
Right now, you can't say there's some huge event that is waiting to unfold here. Oh, no. No, we have the draft. And then there are all the things that come from that, off that. I don't know what that's going to be at. And I'm sure there's going to be trades this weekend. Like, could Kayshon Boutte get traded? That could happen this weekend. Could Keon Coleman get traded this weekend? That could happen. There's always veterans that could be traded in a weekend like this, always. But those wouldn't qualify as the storylines that steal the weekend, right? It's going to be a certain player. It's going to be a certain team. It's going to be a move somebody makes. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I know we've talked a lot about the Dallas Cowboys coming up. I think they could wind up coming up, but it's cost prohibitive to come up to a spot like 3.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know.
Edge rusher? What are they coming up for?
I think there will be 2 guys that they come up for: Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles. I think those would be the 2 guys that would interest that franchise. Are they going to be around, those players, long enough for them to be able to make a move to come up high enough?
Say at 6.
Say at 6.
And Cowboys have done that. 2012, they trade from 14 to 6 to get DB Morris Claiborne out of LSU. So maybe the Cowboys make a similar move to tomorrow night. That would be the storyline if Jerry Jones was wheeling and dealing in Pittsburgh.
For that to happen, you'd have to have Styles and Reese last till 6. I don't know that that's going to happen.
How about Caleb Downs?
Caleb Downs, I think, will be a top 10 pick. Does he go 5, as high as 5 to the Giants? Does he go as low as 10 to the Giants? I could see.
So it sounds like Caleb, the Giant. Okay,
I know Giants fans want Styles at 5. They want Downs at 10.
I'm depending on how the draft goes. Right, I think if Love goes 3, if Arizona can't trade out, if Arizona can't trade out, and Arizona does go Love at 3, then Tennessee sitting there. I think Styles is a logical pick there at 4. So you see him go 4. And then Reese is there at 5. And then that's interesting.
I have a question off of that. So that's what Schrags had mocked this morning.
Yep.
Does that mean Thibodeau is on the trade block then if that happens?
I think if they get Reese in the draft, I think they'd be listening.
Okay.
I think they'd be listening.
Shefty, what about the Chiefs? I know we're not used to them selecting. They have 2 first-rounders. Is there a chance that they try to make a splash and jump up there for somebody?
I had that conversation with a few people yesterday. They have looked as much at going back in the draft as they have going up in the draft. Even though they right now have 9 and 29, they have made calls and gotten calls from teams behind them that have just checked in about coming up, and they don't know how it's going to go yet, right? Like, which team would it be that would come up? I think we're going to get a lot of activity in the second half of the draft. There are a lot of teams willing to move out.
Second half of the first round?
Second half of the first.
Is it because they don't think there's 32 first-rounders? So
and everybody's got their own desire. Everybody's got their own desire.
Oh, there's the text. That could be the story of the weekend.
Who is it? Andy Reid? No?
I don't know. I'm trying to see what this is. We got something going on here. Let's see.
It's just disgusting. Something terrible.
Okay. Okay. There's going to be a whole run of offensive linemen that come off the board tomorrow night. A whole run. What are you looking at me for like that, Pat?
I just looked over your shoulder. I was looking at your phone.
Over under 7.5.
I feel like I saw a lot of things.
7.5? I'd take the over on offense.
Yeah,
offensive linemen?
I would as well.
Over.
So there's 7 tackles plus Vega from Penn State.
How about corners? What's the over under?
4.5.
4.5. That's interesting.
That's very, and it's
everybody thinks that's real high.
But the under is minus 700. So
why don't they move the line?
I assume they think
DraftKings.
I assume they think 4's going to go, so they can't make it 3.5 because then they would just have to make the over of 3.5 minus.
Are we getting a crown there? Because we're of age.
Well, Colton Hood, I think.
Yes.
I think he'll go.
Mansour Delane.
We know. I think that Jamon McCoy
Fall?
Chris Johnson.
Chris Johnson has a chance. Who would be the fifth? When they say 4.5, who's the fifth corner? Pounds?
Pons does pound people. Though.
Yeah.
Like if I saw Pons play, I'd be
Tennessee guys,
Isaiah Pons.
I'm blanking on it right now. Chris Johnson.
We gotta get this figured out.
Maybe on Terrell or something like that, but he's kind of fallen back.
I think. Why don't you figure? You're the one that's supposed to be giving these answers.
I think.
Hope he goes.
Offensive line will be the most drafted position in the first round. Boy, that's a lot of cornerbacks. 4.5.
That's why
seems high.
Unders -700.
That seems high to me. A little high, but it's such a coveted position.
It is a coveted position. Quarterback coveted position as well.
Yes,
everybody's telling me Ty Simpson's a Cardinal.
It wouldn't be a shock if that happened. I think going in, that's the most likely scenario. But I will say this. Last year, we would have thought that Shedeur Sanders going to the Pittsburgh Steelers was probably the most likely scenario. The New York Giants. It didn't happen that way. So, teams aren't showing their full cards to you. You don't know exactly. There's a lot of noise in the echo chamber that we're all hearing. People are hearing the same things. And what I love is Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, the moment of truth. We get to see if the Cardinals really are into Ty Simpson, like a lot of people think they would have some level of interest.
You are the echo chamber, though, aren't you? You and Schrags and Daniel Jeremiah and Rappaport teammate.
Rap Sheet.
And Pelissero. You guys are kind of the echo chamber. We've asked you about this every single year. Like, how do you know you're not getting played just for draft week? And you go, I think I built up relationships with you people that they won't just lie to me. Isn't that kind of the case, though? Because everybody just assumes that the game of the draft now, because everybody kind of understands the draft a little bit more, is that people are working. And the way they're working is getting messages and narratives out and everything like that. And that would be through you. You have to really monitor that, don't you? I mean, we're talking about like careers and public stories.
Again, I feel like
you say, I don't want to have to go ahead and tell you about my credibility.
No. I'm not. I just feel like people are going to talk to you, and the things that they want to hold close to the vest, they just won't share. They're just not going to tell you sometimes. But they're not going to lie. I don't think they're lying.
What about C.J. Stroud? What was that score?
S2.
S2.
Yeah,
S2 test.
Kind of disappeared a bit.
It has stopped kind of being talked about. But those things that are kind of leak, like the negative stuff, do you, like if it's coming to you and you picking and choosing on what you want to break, do you have to think like, whoa, this might be a ploy right here to potentially get something? Does that make sense? I don't know.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I think you have to be selective. There's a lot of stuff you hear all the time about players, and I would say almost always I don't use the majority of it. I just kind of hold on to it because I always feel like these players should go where they're going to go. And then after, like I remember as an example, Shaq Lawson, Rex was coach. I think Rex was coaching there. I knew he needed shoulder surgery. They drafted him. I popped on the camera. I'm like, hey, they drafted a guy, great talent, has a chance for great. He's going to need shoulder surgery here at some point in the near future. And they asked Rex about it. And he's like, you don't need no shoulder surgery. A week later, he had the shoulder surgery. So, I mean, I want these young men who have worked so hard for this moment go where they are. Like, so if you're hearing things, and there are a lot of things you hear, a lot of different people. I generally speaking, don't use that stuff.
I appreciate that. I think as a former player, I appreciate that mightily because if the team didn't find that out, why are you, ESPN insider, being the one doing the research review? This is on you. Is it your job now, precedent every single year that you have to tell everybody about I mean, that would be a weird precedent. I like that you did that for him.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, did you do that for Alec Pierce on our free agent frenzy?
Yeah, I knew that he needed ankle surgery.
Did you really?
But I don't want to do anything to damage his earning power with Indianapolis.
Of course.
And so he left it alone.
Asshole.
You actually knew he needed that ankle surgery?
I might have known.
You let me do a full dance, didn't I?
Open the show.
I did a full song.
He's going to be fine.
Did you tell me? Did you tell me that you were coming on to use that information right away with the contract?
I did.
You did. Okay.
And
Touché.
also, other times I put the eyeballs out. I think I make it very clear whenever I know something's happening. Okay, so maybe turn on the noties, pal. Okay, for those particular tweets, as you potentially.
Oh, we have something here.
Okay.
Oh.
Send it out. Send a tweet.
Oh boy. Stephen Jones just announced that they will make George Pickens play under the tag this year and that there'll be no long-term deal.
That's not good.
Oh, by the way, here we go. There's one storyline for the week.
That's a big one.
Okay, because if they're going to trade and move.
Could they trade him, though? Is he a trade candidate during the draft?
Yeah, if they want to move up high, right? If they want,
no, hold on.
Be that happy.
You can't trade George Pickens without
he
him
hasn't
signing
signed
the
his
franchise tender.
Yeah.
And he's not going to sign it unless he agrees to go somewhere else that would potentially reward him.
So he could definitely get traded.
So they got 8 minutes to figure that out somewhere.
Why wouldn't he sign? If he's
Or
pissed
they're
at them for
doing
not
it
giving
right
an
now.
extension, he could easily sign that and say, yeah, ship me out of here. I want a long-term deal from someone else.
Who's his agent? Mulugeta's?
Yeah, Mulugeta.
Mulugeta's his agent?
Yeah, I believe so.
He'll get a deal before he gets signed or traded. Yep. George Pickens' bank account's about to be gigantic. And this news right here just kind of certified that for me because now there's a opportunity for there to be a little competition for his thing. Congrats to George Pickens. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Earned it.
Huh?
Maybe. I mean, that says you're playing under the tag.
And Mulugeta's his agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry
So I will tell you,
Mulugeta.
he is not playing under a tag.
That's kind of what I'm saying. He might not play football this year.
He'll play football. He'll play football somewhere, and I think he's going to get paid somewhere, probably, if I had to guess. And I think Jerry, who says, we have Maka, he's one football player.
Uh-huh.
We trade him, we're able to get more football players. You see?
That's Jerry's go. That's how Jerry does
They
it.
got Maka, we don't, we tied.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how much more I got to say. He'll do that with George, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he'll do it with George. You don't want to play a franchise tag? That's a lot of money. You don't want to be a Cowboy? They'll trade him. Will they not?
I'm going to say this to you right now also.
Okay, yeah, you're journalism here. We are punditry right now. I feel like George getting traded to somewhere else. Mulugeta's the agent. There's no way he's going to play under a franchise tag. So there's no way he's going to take a year off. So that sounds like George.
They traded a third-round pick for him last year. And there was not a lot of teams out there that were willing to compensate the Steelers. So what can you get back for a player that right now isn't going to be signed to a long-term deal? Again, this just became the first interesting storyline of draft week right here, as we're sitting here with Stephen Jones saying that. And so that brings back up the possibility, if we go back to a draft about 5 years ago, Dallas Cowboys had other needs. C.D. Lamb was sitting there. They had at that time Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup playing wide receiver, and they took C.D. Lamb because he was the best player on their board. They'd love to go defensive players, but I will say this. I think they like Jordan Tyson too, and if Jordan Tyson were to make it to 12, that would be an interesting decision for the Dallas Cowboys to have to make.
Yeah, especially because for top 30 visits, they brought in about every defensive player they could that could potentially go in the first round.
George Pickens can get open, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
George Pickens potentially on the move with the news that he is going to be asked to play under the franchise tag, which we just assume will not happen.
By the way, and I love this. This is one of my favorite things about doing the show. NFL executive texts me right now. Must be watching the show. I would bet my life savings on under 4.5 quarterbacks.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
One of them I thought trading Stooks, so I know you are a big fan of Shefty. Maybe he sneaks in the last one, but yeah, everyone's thinking under 4.
I guess President Bill Clinton showed up at the Cowboys pre-draft press conference.
Really?
I guess he just popped his head in as they were kind of doing their thing. From my understanding, this is what Ari Mirov has tweeted. Yep, there he is.
The hell's he doing there?
President Bush was at the Buccos game last night.
Yeah, I saw that. The Rangers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe I was watching that. President Clinton just walked into the Dallas Cowboys pre-draft press conference. I wonder if he's making any decisions in there. A lot of news happening over there. Okay, let's ask some more information out of the man who has all the information. D-Bud has a question for you, Chef.
I just want to ask you, you talked about the Cleveland-Jacksonville trade kind of brewing up at this point in time. How much has it changed for you and how how the teams operate behind the scenes leading up to the draft as far as action, trades, information, all this? How much has it changed, let's say, in the last 20 years from 2006 and now 2026?
I think that teams have begun to operate knowing that as soon as something's in place, they know that it's not going to be long before it's out there. And part of these discussions is figuring out how you're going to handle the fallout once it gets out and how it's going to get out and when it's going to get out. So I just think with all the attention, that may be the only change. And there are more trades than ever before, by the way. I think there have been so far this year since the start of the new league year when we were in Indianapolis, 23 trades. More trades this year from the start of the league year till now than ever before. So I think teams are more willing to make trades. There's more people are used to making these trades. They're preparing for these trades and the fallout that comes along with them. It's just a much busier time.
How do you think Goodell's going to do tomorrow? Got any tidbits on how he's going to speak? Is
Chest
he really
bumps.
flowing right now?
Chest bumps and good daps, you think, with all the players?
You know, I'll say this morning, I could not sleep. I was just kind of wired.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Of course.
Same.
went to the gym about 5:15 this morning.
No big deal.
No big deal.
5:30. There's only one guy in there.
AJ.
225.
Actually, there's a couple of guys.
225.
AJ Hawk.
27, I heard.
Roger Goodell
Okay.
Wow.
in there.
Did you spot him?
different
Did
hotel.
you spot him on the bench?
AJ was in there at 4:30.
Yeah, they don't put us.
He was done. AJ was done. He had come and gone.
They don't put us at your guys' hotel. That's what I've learned over the last couple trips.
Yeah, definitely not.
Let's keep them in it.
Yeah,
Keep them in it.
oh, Rogers at
keep the
this
riff
hotel?
raff out.
Let's put them in that one.
It sounds like, I think we're in the opposite hotel normally of where
Yeah.
ESPN royalty
Yeah, there you go.
as well. Smart decision. Smart decision, by the way. I didn't know that the hotel that we're staying in existed. I should have been staying in that hotel since the day I left Pittsburgh.
It's a good hotel.
I was staying in Super 8s and shit. Okay, I was staying in shitty hotels.
That's kind of on you.
I mean, there's a Westin down here I stayed in once or twice. You know, there's a couple. This hotel we're in, history. We're at a place.
Yeah, I know where you are.
Beautiful.
My senior prom was there.
Wow.
How'd it go?
Not great.
Oh.
Building was immaculate. Though.
Yeah.
It is. I've learned a lot about Pittsburgh history that I didn't know before coming here for this draft week, and then also with the football town, which you're coming to tonight, right?
I am.
Can't wait to see you there. Hopefully by then you have a little more information.
Hopefully. Under 4.5 cornerbacks. Looks
Yeah.
like.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Hey, Shefty.
Shefty, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks, buddy. Good luck out there. It was a crazy ride there looking over his shoulder.
Thanks, Shefty.
You know what I mean?
I bet.
Thanks, Shefty.
What'd you see?
So what what was
Just like before he opened, he's trying to open up another conversation right now. Knock Coach Saban's bottle out of his hand.
Bonked heads almost.
Yeah, he did absolutely in this entire thing. I looked the convos before he went into so I could only see the first sentence of a lot of different convos. I'm like, wow, is that what it's like every
He's wheeling
day?
and dealing.
Just the amount of people that are just kind of getting.
And he's got to have name, affiliation,
team.
You know, it's got to so many.
In the first sentence, it felt like it was a lot of Shefty outs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like there was a lot of lines in the water. You know, how we doing? How we doing? A lot of those types of things. But he's definitely working.
He's big game hunting right now.
Yeah, and right now he's asking Coach Saban, hey, Ty
You hearing anything?
Tell me about, which is what we're about to do in a matter of seconds. Yeah, Connor's listening in literally right there next to him. Yep. Connor, boots on the ground in the conversation between Schefter and, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who's considered the greatest of all time in college football. When it's all said and done, he might be considered the greatest television personality of all time as well. He sells benzos. He sells Lambos.
Yeah,
Benzos.
Ferraris, probably.
He's maybe the most sought-after speaker
Not those.
in the entire United States of America. He owns the Nashville Predators.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, an icon of a man. Somebody that we are lucky enough to call a friend of the program. He looks lean. He looks mean. He looks tan. He's the man on College Game Days, draft coverage on ABC. Schefter's relentless.
Oh, yeah. This conversation doesn't look like it's
Ladies
anywhere close to
and
over.
gentlemen, Nick Saban.
Hey.
There he is.
You're the man. Coach, you got some drunkos over here. Lads. Good to see you guys.
They're ready. They're doing it already. I love it.
It's a draft. God. Hey, you here, let me fix that. Do it on this side here.
Yeah, Shefty had the same issue.
Boom.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Hey, Shefty was pretty relentless right there. Wait till you hear the intro I just gave you. I had to fill because he was killing you over there. Was he asking about Ty Simpson? Because I want to ask about Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson, number 2 quarterback in the draft. Everybody thinks he's going to Arizona, but they're saying he's not worth a high pick, so they think they're going to come in the tail end of the draft. How do you feel about Ty Simpson? How do you feel about kind of this entire draft process for him? And what do you think stands out for him that maybe says he is going to be a great Sunday guy?
Well, I think Ty Simpson is a guy that didn't play as much in college as a lot of these quarterbacks as they develop. So he's only played, 15 games or whatever. And I think maturity would be the word that I would say is important in the development of his game. I think he can throw it well enough. I think he's athletic enough. Decision-making, processing, drifting in the pocket. I mean, things that you can improve on with experience. Because maturity is nothing more than making the right decision at the right time. And that comes with experience and repetition. He doesn't have enough of that, but he will get it, and I think be a very good player. But he needs to go someplace where he has a chance to develop and not play right away. That's just my opinion.
But let's talk about every quarterback maybe needing that, and the greats of the past. Outside of Peyton, Peyton has the rookie interception record, but Tom was behind somebody. Aaron's behind somebody. Was Drew Brees?
He.
Second round.
No, Phil was.
I don't know. Whatever the case, there's a lot of case studies that say if you're able to watch somebody do it, you'll be able to get better. But there's also a conversation about he needs reps. He needs reps. Like Anthony Richardson, whenever he got drafted number 4 overall to the Indianapolis Colts, there was a lot of talk about him never playing football. Like really never playing football before. We've seen the highlights. That's all he's played football. So they're talking about, well, he needs to mature. Maybe he needs to watch somebody, but then he also needed reps. It's kind of a, I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I genuinely don't know what the right answer is. You would know better than me, but I like somebody seeing it first before they get to go do it. Now that turns to Fernando Mendoza. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about him going to Las Vegas and seemingly going to start after Kirk Cousins gets in there. Do you think that is a sustainable style of play the way Fernando plays? Everybody talks about the option shit that he did in RPO stuff in college. For some reason, it hasn't been like, hey, this guy is a guy convo. What are your thoughts on Fernando?
Yeah, well, I'm big on making comparisons. So you go through the scenarios where quarterbacks got to sit behind somebody, and I think the biggest failure rate in the NFL is because quarterbacks play before they should. But if you look at the 3 guys 2 years ago, Caleb makes an impact in Chicago, guy makes a big impact in Washington, guy makes a big impact, Drake makes a big impact in New England. So those guys played pretty much right away and improved dramatically quickly. But a lot of failures in the NFL play before they're ready at the position, lose their confidence, and then go to pot. It's over. So I do think if you were going to compare Fernando, you would say he fits more into comparing him to those 3 guys we just talked about than he does to some of these other guys. He would be in the conversation if he was in that draft. And I agree with you on the RPOs, but the guy is sneaky athletic. Doesn't look athletic, but probably better than he is. He's accurate throwing the ball. He's smart. He's a good decision maker, and he's accurate. So those things are really, really important in my opinion, and I think he's got the right mindset, and he's improved a lot through his college career. So I'm not saying he won't have some bumps in the road, all right, but I also think that he could be pretty damn good.
He has beers with the boys, too. I think that's a big deal.
No question.
I genuinely think that is a big deal. And I assume at Cal he maybe wasn't doing that because he talks about how he had to grow as a leader and everything like that. Beers with the boys is a huge sign of success in my eyes, especially if you're able to perform on the field. And he's tough as shit. Feels like he is wildly tough. I like Fernando a lot. I like him a lot. But there seemingly hasn't been like a parade for him coming in here as the number 1 overall pick outside of the Raiders organization.
Yeah, well, but I also think that quarterback position is always going to get pushed up if there's a good one. So you could always kind of make an argument maybe for that. But I'm with you on the leadership part of it because I think quarterback is the position that's hardest to play if you don't have good players around you. So if you're not a quarterback that takes responsibility for being a leader to impact the other players on your team, then I think you're hurting yourself.
And I'm so far from my
You hear it, Coach.
home. You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, mama, I can hear.
Oh, they're going to play that when they're on the clock, aren't they?
Yeah, that's supposed to be the plan.
Oh, so you know. You probably got a little run through on how this draft's going. Are you excited for the game day draft? How prepped are you? You over prep for everything. So whenever there is potentially, how many days are you doing this? How many days are you doing the draft?
First and second.
Okay, so that's technically what, 64 picks? Quick math.
No.
Second has how many picks?
There's 3
rounds on the second day.
Second, third,
3 rounds. First.
I
3
knew
rounds.
that. I'm doing the second and third picks
Yes, you
on
are.
Friday. I knew that. Obviously, I knew that. Okay, so that's what, 96 picks total. You did research for what, 500 guys? How do you feel?
No, I probably looked at 150 guys, and I'd look at them just like if I was at the Dolphins or the Browns or whatever. And I still have the sheet that we used to evaluate them on, critical factors and all that stuff, and put all the information on one sheet, try to condense it. So, but there's always guys that pop up that you didn't do.
I'm bummed out that our draft spectacular happens at the same time that you're on there. We'll watch on Friday night, get to do it.
Yeah.
I assume you crush the draft
yeah.
coverage. I mean, you're perfect for it. D-Bud has a question for you.
Yeah, you talked about you being big on comparisons because you've been around so many great players. I want to ask you an example of yours from the past, maybe a player you coached in college that when they went to the NFL, they kind of hit another level because the NFL game was more geared to their talents. Any personal players that you've had that experience with? And then is there a guy that you see in this draft maybe that will get drafted and really take off at the next level?
Well, I think Jamar Gibbs is one of those guys that he was a really good player at Alabama. Good receiver, productive. But I mean, when he went to the Lions, he did more for their team, and he played great for us. I don't mean this in a negative way.
No.
Than he did for our team.
Yeah, he became the guy.
I mean, he became the guy. I see Jeremiah Love as a weapon that, you know, maybe at Notre Dame he did great things, but on an NFL team, because he could be such a good receiver and a runner and used in so many ways. I mean, you don't have to just play him in the backfield. You can put him out there and make him a wideout. So I think that guy is a guy that, you know, could
What about Caleb?
do those kind of things.
Caleb Downs.
Well, Caleb Downs made more plays in college than anybody in the draft. All right, so if he makes that many plays in the NFL, I mean, what's the capability gap? I mean, how much
we think we're
how
at
much better can he get?
Okay, so that was like when he got to campus. Obviously, he's gotten better and he works his ass off. And being with you and Matt Patricia and everything he's been able to do obviously makes him an incredible player. A week ago, the convo was, what position is he going to be? Now it's like he's definitely going to be a top 10 pick because of how talented he is. Josh Chapman told us the day he walked onto your campus, he was gold jacket. It was obvious that this guy's a gold jacket. What have you seen through his college career, and what are you excited to say about him tomorrow night whenever he gets drafted in the first round?
Well, I would say that when he played for us as a freshman, he would have been the first safety taken in the draft. I mean, the guy is so instinctive. He's got really good ability. He is a phenomenal person, and he is a football junkie, and he is just so instinctive on the field and such a fast reactor. Now, he plays better. Everybody questions whether he can play in a deep part of the field. He can play in a deep part of the field, but when he's in a deep part of the field and he comes downhill, he's going to bust your ass. I mean,
he thumps.
He's a thumper. Now, and the only negative I would say to him, and I talked to him on the phone the other day, and it was the same thing when he played for us. He tries to butt him to the ground. He hits him so hard. I said, how about trying to wrap him up a little bit?
Go ahead, Ty.
Coach, what about another guy you had, Caden Proctor, who I want to say you only had him his freshman year and then you retired, but early in the draft process, a lot of people, killed him for whatever his weight at certain points last year. He's obviously an athletic freak when you look at his measurables. And now, as we get closer to the draft, he's kind of gaining a lot more heat. People saying, hey, he could be the first or second tackle taken off the board. What do you expect out of him, and why do you think that kind of change has happened this close to the draft?
I think people get a little bit more tolerant of these small issues. People look for reasons not to pick guys. All right, that's how it starts. I mean, like players used to tell me all the time, I'm going to go to the combine and improve my stock. You ain't improving your stock. They're looking for reasons not to take you, and they're going to find one. All right, so
do not work out.
But anyway, but I think the thing is, this guy is so talented, big, physical, can move, and has power. He's got range. He's got good feet. Now, the issue with him is he's not a bad person. He'll do whatever you ask him to do once you get him in the building. But when he's not in the building, he might get a little overweight. He might not come in the best shape. And those are the kind of things you got to manage with him. But I think they're manageable. In other words, he's not really a self-starter that's going to go out there and get in great shape and come to camp like you want them. But if you can get them to come to camp, if you got them there and get them ready to go. So I don't think that's a huge negative for the guy. And I think he's going to be a really good player now. And if he can't play tackle, he would be one hell of a guard. Mm-hmm. So there's no downside in taking the guy.
Andrew Whitworth, obviously LSU legend alongside you, he told us at the beginning of his career in Cincinnati he was playing guard. And he said he was coming out of the huddle laughing because it was the easiest thing of all time because bodies are just getting sent to your way. So when you have a tackle body and then you don't have to go get people, they're just kind of getting filtered to you. Yeah. That's dominance. That's why Mekhi Becton, whenever he moved to guard, was such a success.
Won the Super Bowl.
That's a huge transition, though, for players. And, this is a big part of why it's a crapshoot in the draft because you mentioned, when you're outside of the building. I know for me, I don't know about you, for you, AJ, that was the biggest adjustment for me because in college, everything was so structured. You knew where you need to be, when you need to be there. And then as a pro, once that season ends, it's kind of all on you. Okay, when do you schedule your workouts? When do you schedule vacations, family time, all these different things? And then you got to show up at this time of the year and OTAs and stuff and be in shape because you don't want to be there tired or having soft tissue or having something like this, can't figure out and get on the field and get those valuable reps. So that is probably the biggest adjustment for becoming a pro. You hear be a pro, be a pro, be a pro. And it takes a lot of guys a few years, maybe some good vets in their room, good coaches to kind of really bring them along and teach them.
That same word, maturity. Mm-hmm. Make the right decisions in the right situations.
Yeah.
And you're going to make the right choices and decisions in those situations to put yourself in the best chance to be successful.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe don't get arrested on a Tuesday.
Shit happens.
Yeah, it happens.
It was bye week, Coach. Talking about the draft being a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. First round hit rate, Hembo kind of gave us a stat. Hit rate means second contract with the team in which you draft. Interior offensive linemen, 60%. Offensive tackles, 60%. Feels like if you're going with a big guy, you can kind of tell if they're going to go. 6 out of 10 though.
Yeah.
That's not a definite, 60% whenever they talk about going for it on the little graphics, they act like that's 100%.
Right.
It is not. That is a quarterback less than 50%, linebacker less than 50%, edge defender 40% roughly, defensive tackle 40%, running back 37%, safety 34%, tight end and wide receiver both at 32%. You're not guaranteed a good player. And that's kind of the craziness of it all. Yeah, especially as of late, it feels like the wide receivers have gotten better. This is from 2000 to 2021. I assume if you were to do the last 7 years, maybe 6 years, the hit rate on wide receivers would be way up because of 7-on-7 and the way everything kind of went there. But over the last 21 years since the history of the draft, everybody says that the player's going to change their team. Being in a locker room, being a punter on special teams, depending on a lot of these guys that get drafted, there's a lot of ass football players somehow getting into the NFL. And whether it's off-field, lack of work ethic, or if it's not understanding ball at a level in which it has to, and maybe just not physically being able to keep up with what the NFL is, there's a lot of misses coming out of this draft tomorrow night. And I don't think it's fair that we just call everybody a bust. It's really hard to make it into the league, even if you're drafted in the first round. And I think that the perspective needs to kind of get shifted a little bit when everybody's just like, we'll get this guy, we win the Super Bowl. It's like, stats tell us this guy ain't going to be on your team in 4 years. So let's go ahead and just remember that. But also, there's a chance you find a Hall of Famer in there. There's a chance you find a staple and a pillar in there, which is why it's so damn special.
Well, and it's like, how do you classify bust? Because, Darius Hayward-Bay gets drafted in the top 10, and he may not have been the receiver everyone expect, but you talk glowingly about him all the time, about him being a Pro Bowl special teamer, So it's like, where is that line defined? By that account, he wasn't a Pro Bowl wide receiver, but he was crucial to you guys.
Well, he played a long time.
Exactly.
He went to Pittsburgh. They paid him like a lot of money to be a
For a
teamer.
long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they would consider him a bust for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Love what he did, though. Go ahead.
He was the first Super Bowl.
But
yeah,
excellence is success over time. And, when you're a college player, your whole goal in life is to play in the NFL. So you have this built-in motivation. So it's about getting in the NFL, or is it about a standard of excellence once you get there? And I think that's what differentiates a lot of psychological disposition that these players have. So they don't just bust because of their athletic ability. They bust because they don't have the right psychological disposition to be motivated to be what they're capable of being. They lose their motivation because they just wanted to play in the NFL rather than being great in the NFL. And there's a difference.
Oh, definitely. Definitely a difference between having a cup of coffee and actually being a part of the NFL family forever with how long you're able to play. Do you think the NIL now, the kids are rich as teenagers, changes that a little bit? Because I think it used to be goal, let's get to the NFL, we get a bag. You know, we get money for the first time in our lives, especially if you're a first rounder. AJ Still.
My God.
Yeah.
AJ Still. Have you seen his house in Ohio? He's number 5 overall pick, old CBA. Old CBA. They gave him, he has this.
Yeah.
This is his house in Ohio.
Yeah.
Right here, because number 5 overall. But nowadays, these kids are making, what, $6.5 million?
Yeah.
Some of these first rounders are making at this point. Is that a good thing? Or I think it's a good thing because we know what people would do with money, right? Don't you think that is kind of
I think that is definitely, you asked me about a guy like Proctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there would be a bigger question in my mind if he never made any money in college. So how does money affect a guy like that?
Yes.
There's no question about that because he already has money. So I think that's a good thing.
I do. I think so too.
But I also think that it's kind of a two-way street. This is one of the older drafts because guys stay in college longer. There's less juniors that come out because they're making money. So you take away the whole financial incentive to come out early, which used to be financial, which no longer exists. Does that make sense?
Fascinatingly, yes, definitely.
All right, so now you got some 20-year-old guys in the draft, and you got some 26-year-old guys in the draft. And I think that's a huge difference in who you want on your team and how you want to develop them. Now, the good news is if guys are staying in college longer, that's good for their development because they're down the line guys are going to play and develop more in college than the opportunity they get in the NFL.
I think the NIL transfer portal era is having a lot of ripple effects that we're only going to continue to see. Thank you for going to the White House and saying, we got to fix this shit, all right? I do appreciate you doing that. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you were talking about evaluating players. Obviously, back in college, I'm sure you're evaluating these high school guys. When you're in the pros, you're evaluating college. And you mentioned critical factors. Like, what are some of those critical factors you do evaluate? Have those changed over time?
Yeah, well, the first guy that I really learned this from was how Belichick sort of, when I was with him, how we evaluated players, and he defined the kind of players that we wanted in the organization: character, intelligence, size, speed, and what are the critical factors to play that position in our system. Now, I always coach DBs, so I'll give you that because that's what I'm more expert at. So a guy's got to be able to tackle, play the ball in a deep part of the field, and play man-to-man. Those are 3 critical factors. Now, you may have 25 things that you evaluate: quick feet, change of direction, burst out of a break, how does he open his hips, all this kind of stuff to determine those 3 things. But if you watch the film and a guy misjudges the ball on the deep ball,
can't have it.
All right, or he's missing a lot of tackles.
Can't have it.
When you're a DB, those are all big plays.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and if you can't play man-to-man, you can't get your ass off the field on 3rd down. So
can't have it. Won't win with it.
So, but every position had that kind of. Now that's not all you looked at, but those were like killers. You know, if we got to play a guy that can't judge a ball in deep part of the field or corner, he's going to give up a lot of plays. Yeah, we don't want that guy.
Disqualified.
And then Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, they were big people. You know, you've heard me say before on TV. You know, football is a great game for little people until you put a big guy in front of them.
Yep.
You've heard me say that before,
yes,
right?
Oh, yeah.
It's the same way at corner. I mean, you got a little corner, and he's playing against a big receiver. It's like they play that shit in the NBA, man. As soon as they come across half court, if a big guy's on a little guy, they're giving the ball to the big guy, right?
Yes.
Same thing.
Well, how do you feel about Pons?
Pons is a great football player. He might be pound for pound as good a football player as there is in the draft. But he's going to have a hard time playing corner in this league because of matchup issues. But I think the guy would be a really good star. You know, Javier Arenas was that kind of player. He played for a while in the league, but he was a good star. He was one of those 5'9" guys that was explosive, powerful, good tackler, smart, aggressive, good blitzer. Pons is all those things. But if you put him out there at corner, somebody's going to try to figure out how to take advantage of him.
Yeah, I feel like that is the game ultimately. D-But, you got drafted at a high second round, Belichick. 3 disqualifiers I just learned you ain't have. They didn't worry about the weak-ass hands, though.
No, I had great hands. They ran my workout. I actually did a workout as a corner first. Then I did a wide receiver workout, so they knew the hands were elite.
A1, I believe they call. Diggs has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, you just brought up Coach Belichick, and we had him on here 2 or 3 years ago, and his big thing for the whole draft was sticking to your horizontal draft board, okay? So you being, obviously, you've looked at all these players, and you've been a coach in the draft room, and how important, though, is it the dynamic with the head coach and the GM, and then sticking to the board when you're on the clock and not doing something stupid? Because I know there's a lot of voices in that room.
Yeah, well, I think it's really important. You've heard me talk about vertical integration in the NFL, from the owner to the president to the GM to the coaches to the staff, so you get the right kind of players. If the GM wants this kind of player and the coach wants this kind of player, it's not going to fit systematically, and somebody's going to get fired. Most of the time, it's the coach. All right, so because the GM's sitting in the press box telling the owner what he wants to hear. I mean, I've been through all this shit. So, and you're on the sidelines as a coach trying to win the game.
Yeah, of course.
Good luck.
So,
politicking is always happening.
So it is critical. And look, one thing we never had to do in college is we just had to say these are the 5 best offensive tackles that we're recruiting. Here's the 5 best corners, because we could take more guys.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, having the board horizontally, is this offensive tackle better than this corner? And you did that by having a 9-point grading system. This guy might be a 7.5. The corner may be a 7.2. So who are we picking? We're going to take the tackle for value because he's a better player long term, or we need the corner. And those are the kind of decisions you got to make. And when you're not on the same page, they get really hard to make.
We got some Hembo stats here on the history, or on this particular draft for most amount of picks here. The Jets are the only team with 4 top 50 picks. They can really do some damage. Remember, they did not take David Bailey on one of their top 30 visits. They said they knew everything about him already. Fascinating. The Dolphins are the only team with more than 5 top 100 picks. Good luck to them. They're going to need them. Ain't that right, Gumpy?
Sully's at the wheel. We're good to go.
Coach Saban also pulling for the Dolphins, obviously, always will
That could
be.
be 7 starters right there.
Yeah, maybe, could be, should be. Gonna have to be probably for your guys' team. You got rid of all your good players over the last couple of years. The Broncos are the only team without multiple top 100 picks. Sean Payton sitting there on the ice yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, right there on the ice.
He's got nothing to do for a couple days.
He almost got glass
I know.
on him. He almost got shards on him as he's hanging out watching the Colorado Avalanche, who might be the real deal. And the Predators in the playoffs?
Nope. I had a chance to get in, went 4-5-1 in the last 10 games, and missed it by 2 points or however they do it in hockey.
How'd you feel about the season? How'd you feel about the hockey season? Were you in the building or what?
I'm anxious to see how we can build the program, just like we built programs in other places, and we get the right people in the organization. It's kind of exciting.
Have you shot a puck yet?
No, haven't been to a game yet either.
Can you skate?
No.
Have you tried?
You've been to West Virginia, man. Where would you stay in West Virginia?
We ain't got. What is he, a speed skater? This guy's going straight downhill. You're gonna have to
They're
stop.
jumping, do a jump.
Could have at some point. Can't wait to see you at a Predators game. Can't wait to see you do your thing for the draft coverage. Thank you so much for taking time out of your life to join us today. You look good. You're super fit right now, huh? You feel good?
Yeah, I'm playing a lot of golf.
How's the game?
Nice. Yeah.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
a metaphor of life, that game. I mean, you hit a good shot, you got to deal with success. You hit a bad shot, you got to deal with failure and focus on the next shot. And if you don't focus on every shot, you get punished. I mean, it's the damnest thing.
He's right.
That's golf, baby.
He's right.
That's golf football, baby.
Yep.
That is golf football. What's bad for you, though? What's bad? You said some days good, some days bad. What's bad?
Oh, well, some days I can't putt. Some days I can't hit it straight off the tee. What do you mean?
80? Bad?
I've shot my age 3 times.
When's the most recent time?
You shot 68 recently?
About a week ago. 73. I'm 74 years old.
Oh, I
The
thought you
older
were
you
60.
get, the easier it
I thought you
gets to hit the number.
I thought you were late 60s.
You're 74 right now?
I actually shot 82 at Augusta about a month ago.
That's pretty goddamn good.
I was 9 over on the front and 1 over on the back.
Wow. It's the
Dialed
second,
in.
the second
Yeah.
time.
Went through Amen corner 1 under.
Let's go.
But you birdied par 3 or did you part?
Birdie to 12. Yeah.
Wow. Second 12 or second 9, not back 9. I think you're good there forever because of who you are. But if I was to get that wrong, I'm potentially, you know what I mean? So let's make sure we get the words right. Patriots.
They don't have that kind of expectation for me, though.
Yeah, you're a Southern god. Yeah, I understand how it works down there, as they should. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Coach Saban. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Good seeing you all again.
Good seeing you, Coach.
Love you, Coach. You look good, dude. Really good. Yeah, you guys better stand up. Yeah, boys. Good work there, boys. Standing up for the coach. Miss Amy, see you later. Great seeing you. Yep, you're the best. Thank you so much. Feels like the draft is really starting to heat up. We had Brett Michaels playing earlier. We had see you, Coach. How about Coach? See you, Coach. How about him coming in here and just Schefter just going, let me stop you right there.
Let me pick your brain for.
One half of the talks table at Boston Connor's back. You were right in the middle of that convo. Was Schefter trying to get as much information as possible out of Coach Saban right there?
Yeah, after seeing how Schefter works, I have a completely different perspective on him. He's a true shark. Eye to eye, he got real close to Nick Saban's face, so you know the information that he was looking for was serious. But, yeah, that was a high football IQ conversation from one side. The other side was just questions. Hey, tell me more.
Yeah, he was kind of downloading everything.
Exactly.
You know? That's kind of what Schefter's doing.
Speaking of high football conversation, something Saban said when he was talking about the star position. A lot of people at home probably don't know what that is. Kind of like a nickel slot defender. So think Derwin James, Cooper DeJean, Nick Kimmenwari, Devin Weatherspoon out in Seattle, who I think him being as successful as he's been will help D'Angelo Pons probably draft stock tomorrow night.
Troy Polamalu, original.
Troy played everywhere. Seawood, you know, those guys, and Caleb Downs, I can see him playing this position as well because those guys can just impact so much of the game. They communicate with linebackers, corners, safeties, linemen. Sometimes they can blitz. They're going to make your run game and your pass game better. So you get a guy like this in the building, they're obviously never going to come off the field. They're like a chess piece on defense. So you see the last 2 Super Bowl champs, Cooper DeJean and Nick Kimmenwari, that was 2 of their best players playing at one of the most critical, in my opinion, positions.
The queen chess piece.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's not the stupid horse one that's an L.
No, not a knight.
That'll sneak up on you now.
Not a rook.
Yeah, careful.
But I'm saying that one's just running an in route the whole
Close
time.
Sicilian, though.
We're talking that these stars just need to go everywhere.
Yeah, you don't have to take a linebacker off the field. You don't have to,
Yeah, it's the best. With the game now, they have to be able to thump. Thumping is back in football, and we love that. I'm excited to see Goodell thump a couple of these big guys tonight. As we wrap up here on ESPN, let's make sure we cover all the news stories of the day. Brandon Aubrey, highest paid kicker ever, 4-year, $28 million, $20 million guarantee with Cowboys. Congratulations, Brandon.
Well done.
You earned that, pal. Remember, there were some rumors going around about what he was expecting and wanting and thinking and all that stuff. And then his agent said, that's not real. Got transition tagged. I believe somebody else could have made an offer for him through that point. He ended up being definitely back with the Cowboys. They get a deal done with the most accurate kicker maybe of all time if he's to go. The guy never misses. It doesn't make any sense. He hit, I think, 2 uprights in the same game last year. It was his own, and it was earth-shattering headline news. Brandon Aubrey missed a kick. Okay, that when you get to that point, Tucker was there for a little bit.
Yep.
Boswell got to that point a little bit. Obviously, Vinatieri lived in that moment for like 20 years. If you're somebody that they make a big deal out of you missing anything, that means you're a guy. Aubrey's been at literally since day one he got in the NFL, and he might hit from 75 yards.
Weapon.
Absolute weapon. And when you talk about the salary cap going up and to the right, to have a guy that can make a kick for you, priceless. They put a price on it. It's about $5 million a year.
Yeah.
What else happened around here? Shane Steichen says Dan Jones is back to throwing and performing his drop. And we saw him walk in.
Yeah. Right.
Broken leg and an Achilles ain't enough to slow Daniel Dimes down. Now, he lost a receiver in Michael Pittman.
Sure.
Tough.
To the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kept Alec Pierce, who he made definitely his absolute best version of him.
Yeah.
He's out for 3 months. Dimes is back.
Yep.
I'm excited about the future. I love where we're at, D-Bo.
I love where we're at as well. We're obviously moving on, I think, to kind of a new chapter with Kenny Moore moving on, Zaire Franklin moving on.
Do you really love where you are, though, with all these great players leaving?
We still got a GM.
What's that?
We still got.
I just wonder if you guys really are excited.
We got our
about the future when
quarterback.
you lost a lot of great players.
Did you see our quarterback walking in?
Alec Pierce, you signed him $150 million. He's got ankle surgery 3 days later.
He'll be all right.
It was a week and a half later.
We hope.
Yeah.
Did
multiple weeks later.
Did Shefty know about Pierce's surgery before the Colts signed him to the extension?
That's what he was kind of saying.
Kind of is what he was saying.
But I think he kind of has to say that. Isn't that kind of like a thing? I knew. That's kind of what he was doing. It's like, I don't know. Did you?
You looked over his shoulder in his phone. You think you knew based on what you said?
Yeah, what was that? What was on his phone?
A lot of shots.
Got anything for me?
Shot. That's what it felt like. It felt like, every once in a while you see those boats that those super rich olds go on out in the sea, and there's just like 30 fishing lines.
Oh, yeah.
And then they got like workers standing there telling them, hey, this one. And they go, oh, get my fat ass over here. Do the entire thing.
Sure.
That's what that text message kind of looked like.
Okay.
That's why I was scanning it out. I'm like, oh, that's a shot. And there was a lot of names that I definitely knew. And I'm like, that could be a cool thing if that was to happen. And then he comes on and goes, we don't know anything yet.
Yeah, nothing's going on.
Got any more for me?
He knows stuff.
I don't know.
Everything.
He knows stuff.
Well, now that the superpowers have combined.
Yeah.
Him, Rappaport, Pelissero.
They meet every morning.
Field Yates, I think. Is Field an insider?
But have they combined?
I think
a little bit.
Yes, I think they have.
Shefty's retweeting those guys' stuff. He was never doing
but you
that
think
before.
Shefty's giving his stuff? Hey, I got this. I'm going to gift it to you. You can break it.
No, they're meeting every morning, giving everything to each other.
I do think Shefty, this many years
Sure.
into the game, I think he probably only knows one way, which is like go. Rap, same way. But I think Rap has been very open about like, hey, would be honored to be a part of Schefter's team. I don't think Schefter has ever publicly come out and been like, can't wait to have these guys part of my team, because I think Schefter is an actual machine.
Shefty fucking hates it.
No, I think at this stage, I think he'll be excited to add members to team. Like I think he'd be happy to bring members of team in, because it's not like he's ever going to be viewed as not the guy.
Right.
And he's already proven, I think.
And I think that's what bothered him, is I think he does want to add people to the team, but it was the notion that this is his heir apparent. Like, this is the guy that's going to replace him, and he obviously is not thinking about stopping anytime soon.
Hates it.
Yeah.
No, I think it is forced upon him. And I think now he's like, how do we make this the best?
I'll play ball.
He's the old franchise quarterback. You draft a young gunner first. I hate this guy.
You are right.
But I'll be a team player.
All right, we will see you tomorrow night for the Draft Spectacular. 7 p.m. It starts with the Football Town. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change your life. Goodbye. All right, clocks were off a second. I think I nailed it. A lot of activity brewing behind us.
Oh, yeah. A lot happening.
Big time.
I'm being told in my ear, how long's this show? A lot of that.
Okay.
Because the music was starting.
Sure.
So I assume somebody was like, hey, can you not do the music? And they're like, no, actually kind of need to do the music. That's kind of a thing. It's not just music, I guess, that's going to be on that stage. I think if we were to wait 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we would potentially get something that I'm sure they do not want us to show.
Okay.
We can't tip what it's going to be.
I don't think we can tip the open of the fucking draft.
That's probably
They have almost started it about 3 times.
Is it Brett Michaels?
They were playing some of this stuff.
A little bigger.
All right.
Bigger than
you're
Brett?
not showing it, Foxy. We're getting out of here. Okay, we're out of here.
That's not possible.
We're back tomorrow night. Foxy was like, we got a really good shot of this.
Foxy, he wants to tip the whole draft.
Foxy, show the shots that we have of the stage. Hey, B-Mac, I know you're probably watching this. We could get the whole thing. We could get the whole thing.
Boy. Yeah, that would really do it.
We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We are lucky and thankful to be here. Hey, somebody tell Oni or Ani, whatever the hell his name is. We are very lucky and thankful to be here. Okay? And on that note, we're not tipping shit.
No.
Okay.
We've come this far. We need not.
I want to see what it is tomorrow night.
Thank you, Schrager.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, Draft Spectacular starts at 7 p.m. with a showing, a debut premiere of The Football Town. I'm going to say it's maybe the nicest thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was so cool to watch, like the first 5 minutes, and the way people are talking about it. I think it'll be something that'll be well worth your time, and also a nice prep for what's about to happen. The next generation of NFL stars are going to be drafted on this stage tomorrow night after the Open that has a lot of really cool stuff happening. Roger Goodell will come out here, and we're going to celebrate the hell out of ball. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We will see you then. For myself, D-Butt, AJ, Conman, Conman, good to see you with a soul.
Yeah.
We saw you on Steel Curtain without one.
Yeah.
That was alarming footage. I did not see that before it was
Happened
live.
both times. The first time was a little worse. I was concerned because I knew his glasses. He was concerned about that.
It was a little
beforehand.
quicker, but
Yeah.
yeah. It was tough. I mean, that's Kennywood.
40 seconds here. Ty, Tone, Truck, great work, Truck.
Baby Truck.
All right, boys.
ESPN crew, thank you so much for setting this all up. Barcode and them, Fosso. Miss Karen's here doing logistics for life. And tomorrow, Coach Coward will join us. AQ
Hell yeah.
Shipley will join us. Surprises will happen. Dreams will come true. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Let's have a hell of a week here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Perfect. Come down and see us if you're in town. We appreciate you. Team on me, team on three. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.